All right, I got NC State traveling to Duke and Wallace Wade Stadium. NC State's got Hollywood Smothers. He's leading the ACC in rushing. But also, don't forget about the 6'7" do-it-all quarterback in C.J. Bailey. Mintz has been looking good, but it's really this Duke defense who needs to step up. Catch this one, 4 p.m. ESPN 2.
Let's talk about another little rivalry game. Only about 23 miles separate Raleigh and Durham, NC State and Duke. The Wolfpack will make that really short trek to go take on the Blue Devils for the 86th time. Fun fact, NC State hasn't won in Durham since 2008. Just some of these weird quirks. The thing about NC State, though, they're 3-0 to start the season, and they have a run game, you guys. They are 4th in the ACC in rushing. It's been a big part of the reason they are undefeated right now. Eddie, what has changed on that side of the ball in that particular part of their game?
Intensity, aggression. They know who they're blocking, and they execute it well. Offensive coordinator Kurt Roper's done a heck of a job instilling a great scheme for these guys. They're allowing playmakers to make plays for them. This offensive line has improved. They've done a great job. Look, when you know who to block and you can execute, it's easy for the big men. So you get a hat on the hat right here. And when the run game, what you want to do is put your best players in a one-on-one situation. Right now, one of your best players is quarterback C.J. Bailey. Get him against a safety. Safeties are normally the better tacklers and on the defense. C.J. Bailey's able to make him miss. Another opportunity. You get a hat on the hat in the run game and let your best players make plays for you. Hollywood Smothers is leading the ACC in rushing yards. One-on-one matchup, he's able to win it. This is a great scheme for this team. NC State's been lacking a run game over the last few years. Kurt Roper's come in and done a heck of a job.
Can I just say my heart is just pounding right now. You doing an offensive line tape, brother?
Bro,
I feel good.
It was so good. I couldn't.
He does quarterback tape, so I know.
But look, I'm looking to do a quarterback tape or a receiver's tape, and the O-line just kept jumping off.
Come on, Coach Touche. That's what we like.
I'm sold.
Love that.
I think you're rubbing off on us.
That's right.
That's
cool.
Scary.
That's cool.
The thing is, though, they're going up against a Duke defense. Manny Diaz, known for his defense, but it hasn't necessarily shown up at this point in the season. Where has the defense struggled, in your opinion?
Everywhere. It's so surprising to watch. No, seriously, because Manny Diaz is a defensive genius. And you look at it, they got bad eyes. The contain isn't there. You're playing against a mobile quarterback. Your rush lanes have to be good. And then you look at this again. The rush lanes, the defensive end is getting upfield too much. It provides a big lane for the quarterback to run. And then the last part of it is tackling. Like, you expect these good defenses from year to year to become good tacklers, but this is the quarterback. That's not even Tulane's running back making these plays. He ran for over 100 yards. That's not something that I expected from this Duke defense, and especially not something from a Manny Diaz coach team.
Well, you know, that's one thing. When you're talking about a pressure defense, which Manny's team, I've played against Manny many times, and it takes, when you get young players, they think blitzing sometimes can just mean all-out chaos, and you don't stay in your rush lanes. You don't stay in your gap. It's easy to just say, I'm just trying to pressure and get penetration. Well, then you get knocked out of that seam, and one guy out of a seam, it's out the gate. And that's what's happening to them. I think you got to be aggressive, but you got to be intelligent and play under control. And I think that's what's happening to them, and that's what's happened with the tackling. When you go to tackle, now I'm out of position. I'm a gap behind. I'm trailing a guy instead of squaring up a guy. And those things can happen so easy. Now, they're easily fixed, but that's how quick it can go wrong, too. The chaos and all that penetration, if it's not gap controlled, it's just as deadly on defense for your defense as it is with your defense when it's under control.
Easily fixed, but also easily identified by us on the offensive side of the ball, seeing that and taking advantage of it. I've been thrilled with NC State running the football. I've been begging for it for seemingly 5 years on this network, and they're able to do it. The other piece, though, all their weapons are playing to their standard, are playing to what we thought they would do at NC State. I've loved what I've seen from Grimes. I've loved what I've seen from Rogers, big tight end, Justin Jolie there. It's all coming together, but the thing that makes it go, he's from right here. CJ, it's been unbelievable to watch him at the quarterback position. He's been a lot of fun.
My thing for the Duke defense, when you talk about discipline, what scares me is the fact that NC State runs the football so well. So now the play action, we're talking about C.J. Bailey. Number one, it's NC State. The 3-0 because you're running the football, but now play action's going to come in.
Correct.
I'm expecting them to hit a couple shots over top.
And Duke just can't get out of their own way.
Right.
I mean, they are heavily penalized. That is very uncharacteristic for a Duke team, and just shooting themselves. We were there. We were in Duke, and it felt like it was a close game when they were playing Illinois, but the scoreboard was not reflective of that. They're favored in this game. I don't know if I agree with that. I think NC State rolls today.
NC State Duke. Duke has won the last two against NC State. Which direction, EMAC, you start?
I do not know why Duke is favored in this game. I really don't. I mean, the last 2 times we've seen them, they got blown out by Illinois, and then they got dominated by Tulane. And I know the score was a little bit closer there. I'm going with the Wolfpack and CJ Bailey. I think they roll today. I think they run the football, take a big advantage of this team.
If you're going Pack, can we get a howl from you?
My voice hurts.
Oh, come on. There you go. That was a good one. All right, Coach, what about you?
CJ Bailey fan. I think CJ Bailey's too good a player. I think he's inverted their running game. And you know what I want to see on NC State? The defense they play in the second half, not the first half.
I love that too.
In the first half, they've struggled in games, but they've made adjustments at halftime. And I like the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I like the Wolfpack too. CJ Bailey gets it done with his legs, but also his arm. I feel like he'll throw for over 300 today against that Manny Diaz defense.
The Wolfpack has officially banished EMAC for that terrible howl. Okay, how about the game we got tonight?
All right, Roy, impressive win for TCU, and they claim that skillet, and we are counting you down to more football here. Darian Mensah, 3 straight games with 300 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. That's tied with Thaddeus Lewis for the longest streak by a Duke player in the last 30 seasons.
Dave Doran leads a comeback completing NC State team at 3-0. Armed with ascending sophomore quarterback CJ Bailey, operating at a very high level. Down the road to face Manny Diaz's Duke squad, off to a surprising 1-2 start after large preseason expectations swirled around their multi-million-dollar quarterback, Darian Mensah. Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by Claude. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. NC State aims to stay perfect against the Duke team, trying to get the train back on the tracks. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us alongside former All-American and NFL linebacker Kirk Morrison. I'm Mike Monaco. Don Davenport joins us in a moment. NC State's been resilient to start 3-0. Duke, meanwhile, had huge expectations coming into this year after 9 wins last year, but back-to-back losses against very good teams in Illinois and Tulane.
Yeah, back-to-back losses, but yet when you talk to Manny Diaz, this football team, he feels, is better this year at 1-2 than they were last year with their undefeated start. I think today they can't wait for ACC play to find out who the real Blue Devils are for 2025. It starts against NC State.
And maybe today comes down to quarterback play. Very tasty matchup. CJ Bailey, a true sophomore, operating at a high level, and then Duke handpicked Darian Mensah to lead this team.
I mean, 2 of the better young quarterbacks in college football. Both guys have a little bit of experience, but it's going to be the matchup of turnovers. Which quarterback can protect the football today, Mike? That's going to be the winner.
And who steps up around them? NC State running back Hollywood Smothers is 6th in the country in rushing yards. So it's time for Kirk's Key.
Yeah, this time we go to Hollywood, because when you talk about Hollywood Smothers, you got to talk about 3 plays. It's his vision. That's the first thing. He's a guy that can find something when it's just not there, but he's got the speed as well. He can get from 0 to 100 real quick. And by the way, the explosion. All he needs is just a crease. He puts that foot in the ground, and it's good night, Irene. He is one of the best players in college football.
Big part of their 3-0 start as old Big Four foes meet on Tobacco Road. The battle-tested Wolfpack squares off with Duke next. NC State and Duke. Duke grabbed Tulane transfer Darian Mensah in the portal. Last week, Darian Mensah had to go back to face his old school, Don Davenport.
Yeah, Mike, can't deny that was an emotional week for him. Back to the only place that gave him a chance out of high school, and it didn't go as planned. I had a chance to talk to his mom, Naomi, who told me she was worried about her son after that loss. She asked him, hey, how are you doing? How are you handling everything? Are you okay? His answer, Mom, this just fuels me even more for us to get things right. His offensive coordinator, Jonathan Brewer, told me Darian picked him up too, told him, Coach, there's no place I'd rather be. And then he was the exact same grinding California cool leader all week long, Mike.
All right, Todd, great stuff. NC State will start with the football first as Duke won the toss and deferred, and Duke Scott rumbles past the 25. C.J. Bailey is a 6'6" sophomore from Miami, where he was high school classmates with Ohio State supernova Jeremiah Smith. Last year, of course, Bailey ended up starting 9 games as Grayson McCall's career came to a close due to concussions. This year, Bailey's off to a great start. Dave Doran said to us, playing at a very high level. What impresses you most, Kurt?
To me right now is just the way that he protects the football. He extends plays, but he's very smart in how he disperses the football to his receivers.
He's got a good running back to start, but nothing doing. A loss of 1 for Hollywood Smothers. And it's been great stuff from C.J. Bailey. They feel like he's taken a big jump in terms of knowledge of defenses, how he's operating in the offense, and they love his leadership as well.
Yeah, I think that's the part right there, the leadership. He's more of a vocal leader. Last year, he was a freshman. You know, freshman, you're just trying to tie your shoes the right way, right? Know where classes are. Now you're being asked to lead a football team. That's where he's made the big jump in year 2.
Clean pocket, and he goes to his trusty tight end, incomplete. Pass got batted down at the line of scrimmage, and 3rd down and long coming up for Dave Doran's team. 3-0, coming off a win last Thursday at Wake Forest. They went down quickly in that game, 14-0. Week 2 against Virginia at home in Raleigh in a non-conference game. They had trailed by 10 in the 3rd quarter in that one as well. On 3rd down and 11. It's a screen off the right side and a lane off to the races. Terrell Anderson is gone. 75 yards.
That's how you start 3rd and long. So you're going to have this up here. He's just going to come right here, but watch the blocking out front. Watch, these are the guys that come out and seal the block. That's all you need. You get guys out front, and you get the screenplay. Cool, come back and look at the blocking. It's just terrific blocking. You get Terrell Anderson out into the open field, and guess what? Turn into the Duke track meet. Except this time, the NC State Wolfpack won.
First touchdown of the season for Terrell Anderson, and for Duke's defense, 3rd downs continue to be a huge problem. Tackling continues to be a problem, and Anderson makes Duke pay.
Man, but the thing is, it's 3rd and 13. You should be already thinking, hey, it's going to be screen, draw, those types of plays. That's a high percentage play for North Carolina State. What did C.J. Bailey do? Just throw a nice little small dump off. Now, that goes for 75 yards, Mike, but guess what? It's just a little screen pass. It wasn't nothing that C.J. Bailey did. I just thought that was bad on the Duke coverage unit, not understanding the situation of 3rd and long. It's got to be a draw or a screenplay.
Well, and again, on the Duke side of things, to your point, it's what Manny Diaz has been harping on all week, that the pass defense has really struggled. Jonathan Patke, the defensive coordinator, has been so frustrated with how they've done on 3rd downs for a defense that last year was one of the best in the country.
Yeah, it's one of those things, too. Like, they have to understand that. And those are the plays that come back to haunt you. If you want to ask what's been going on with Duke in the early on, that's also another thing. Not getting off to fast starts. NC State with the fast start today.
And now Charlie Birtwistle sends it away to Peyton Jones, junior running back out of Norfolk, Virginia, with a lane up the middle of the field, and he takes it out to the 30. Well, practically overnight, Darian Mensah became one of the highest paid players in college football. Kid who was barely recruited out of California, he told us. So he went to Tulane, redshirted as a true freshman, then last year rose from 3rd on the depth chart in the fall to win the job. And he led Tulane to the American Conference title game, hit the portal. Duke chose him over last year's starter Malik Murphy. And game number 4 for Darian Mensah and the Blue Devils. We'll see a lot of different running backs. Jacquez Moore in there to start, and this is the tight end Jeremiah Hazley, who goes spinning for a 1st down. Only his 5th catch of the season and 15 on the feed from Mensah. What have you thought of Mensah so far when you watch him on film?
Well, I think Jonathan Brewer said it to us yesterday, right? He's allowed me to be more aggressive with my play calling. I've got a quarterback that I know that can execute. Even when I'm not in the right play, Mensah is able to get me correct.
Mensah moves in the pocket. He'll often scramble to throw, and he got it complete to Samir Hagans. Redshirt senior from Philadelphia is good for a dozen.
Yeah, you see that a lot, Mike. He doesn't scramble to take off and run. He's just scrambling to buy time, extending the play. and make those types of plays.
From plus territory, here is Moore, back from the high ankle sprain and foot injury last year. I thought it was interesting what Manny Diaz said to us yesterday. Yeah, we're 1-2, but he does think that they are a better team, and he also thinks they have a higher ceiling than last year, which was a 9-win team.
Well, conference helps you focus. That's what he said. Conference play helps you focus on what's at hand. This is a conference right now. We can talk about this throughout the game. The ACC, I think, is wide open. That's what's most important for Manny Diaz.
Mensah checks it down, and it's a drop. Jaquez Moore out of the backfield, and third down coming up against this NC State defense, who today is without maybe their best player on their defense. Sixth-year senior defensive end Sebastian Harsh, a Wyoming transfer, is out for the first half today due to targeting last week in the second half against Wake Forest. So Chase Bond, 92 in white, steps into a bigger role.
With only 2 sacks on the season so far, they're going to try to create pressure. You mentioned without Harsh, I think their best defensive player.
True freshman Nate Shepard, the running back, comes into the game on third down. And pressure comes. Mensah under heat. And Mensah just has to get rid of it. Kenny Soares came with the pressure. And the Northwestern transfer flushed Mensah. And fourth down coming up.
Just a nice job. It was just kind of a delayed blitz. All you're going to see is it's going to come here and then late. It was like a nice little wrap. That's a nice job by Soares. He was able to wait. He got solid, got skinny, and put the pressure on Mensah.
And he beat the true freshman running back who was trying to grab the blitz pickup. So Duke will punt with the sophomore from Australia, Cade Reynoldson, from the plus 42, with Teddy Hoffman, the true freshman, back to get it. And we've got pre-snap movement here on fourth down and 9. Officials come together. This crew led by referee Justin Elliott.
Sudden change. We think this is a penalty that's going to probably go against NC State. And now the Duke offense is starting to huddle. Probably going to go for it here on fourth down, Mike.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
So it was fourth down and 9, costly on NC State. And this decision, do you agree with it to bring the offense back on the field?
Absolutely. You're at home and you've got a gift. This was a gift from North Carolina State. Well, I like to open up presents, Mike. So I'm a gift guy. I'm going to try to make do with what I just got. And now go from 4th and 9 to 4th and 4. I'll take that 4th and 4 opportunity. Again, with the quarterback, we just talked about it, how aggressive you can be with Darian Mensah at quarterback.
See what Duke has done on fourth downs offensively. NC State's defense has had huge fourth down stops this season. Mensah under pressure. Great catch by Hazley, the tight end, into the red zone. And a fourth down conversion gifted by NC State.
That's a nice job by the tight end, Hazley. He's lined up on the outside. He just came underneath the 2 receivers going up the field, and Mensah buying time, enough time for Hazley for the completion.
Now it's Shepard, true freshman from Louisiana. Kean Sloan in on the stop.
Oh, man, just going back to that conversion, it's just a little mesh route, and Mensah knew he was going to get hit by the pressure, just buys enough time. He makes so many of those types of plays, Mike. You get excited to see the quarterback just put it out there for the tight end for the conversion. Like, we got to go back to that play. That fourth down penalty by North Carolina State could come back to cost them, especially if Duke gets into the end zone.
Shepard with a cut, and Shepard gets cracked down inside the 5. First down and goal for Duke.
Yeah, I think the North Carolina State sideline is calling for a hold, but that's just great blocking by Hazley. He made a big catch, and then he made a nice block on that last play.
Shepard again, and he gets swung down close to the line of scrimmage. Kean Sloan, another one of the guys who's been awesome on this NC State defense, defensive end transfer from Utah State, and on the stop.
Bringing in a couple little big bodies here, Mike. This is where Darian Mensah also comes alive, too, I think. You get down in these tight quarters, you always got to think quarterback run or run-pass option for the quarterback, Mensah.
Yeah, extra offensive lineman Bradley Smith, the backup center, comes into the game. And this is Anderson Castle at 215 pounds with a push. Touchdown, Duke.
Well, Mike, you know I go by a motto, right? My motto is sometimes if it's free, give me what? 3. And that's the one thing about Anderson Castle. Every time you hand the ball off to him, he gets you 3 yards. This time he got a little extra, and he goes into the end zone. They believe that Anderson Castle, the transfer from App State, has been one of their best running backs. He goes 215 pounds. But they said he was a baby Mike Allstott. That was a Mike Allstott type run as he pushed himself into the end zone.
10 plays helped out by a very costly penalty, and Duke decided to go for it, and they cash in. A 4th down conversion to Jeremiah Hazley. Anderson and Castle with the touchdowns to get this one started. This offside penalty on NC State ahead of 4th and 9 was costly. Looks like Josh Alexander Felton, 45 and white.
Yeah, and that's honestly where you're going. I mean, the ball's right there next to you. You're always taught from your coaches, you go when the ball's snapped. The ball's not snapped. You can't go on sound. You go off the movement of the football.
Young player, redshirt freshman from Orlando, his first snap of any kind this season. And for Dave Doran, frustrating penalty there that leads to Duke evening up the score.
It's just one of those things that you learn as a young player. Those plays just can't happen. And now it gave Duke an extra opportunity. And for them, just the guts, right, of Manny Diaz and that offense of Duke to go for it on 4th and 4. They convert that and then convert that even more into a touchdown. So great drive for Duke. Cash it in on the mistake from North Carolina State.
And now CJ Bailey and the Wolfpack back with it. Hollywood Smothers dives forward, picks up a couple of yards with Nick Morris, 5th-year senior Mike linebacker, in on the stop. Well, they feed this guy a lot, Hollywood Smothers, who broke out at the end of last season and has been awesome to start this year. Week 2 against Virginia, rushed for 140 yards. Last week against Wake Forest, 164 more. Duke Scott into Spellum for the Wolfpack. Bailey got rid of it. Into coverage, intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Stone off the ricochet. And Duke's got a takeaway.
It's just a bad throw because everybody's looking at the quarterback. Watch Chandler Rivers, number 0. He's at the top. Watch how he breaks on his football. This is an experienced all-pack or all-ACC player who goes out and makes the play. That's a tremendous job of Chandler Rivers seeing the play, breaking the break, and knocking that ball in the air. And that's how the interception occurs. It's a nice job of team defense by Duke.
A pass defense that you see had been the only ACC team without an interception this year. Manny Diaz had challenged them, and it's Rivers, the All-American who had slipped, got back up on a pass intended for Keenan Jackson and freed it up for Deshaun Stone. So big sudden changes for Duke, who starts in plus territory. Mensah check down, Jaquez Moore incomplete with Moore out of bounds.
Oh, what a play by Rivers, just going back to that one. Just there was so much going on in that play. You saw guys going down the field, but Rivers came off of his coverage, Mike. He didn't take the deep receiver that was going down the field. He had eyes back on the quarterback, and just a tremendous job. You can watch the quarterback here, CJ Bailey. He's looking. He's like, oh, I know I got this. But because Rivers came off of his coverage, got a hand in there, and Deshaun Stone with the interception.
Yeah, Rivers, the 3rd-team All-American last year, preseason 2nd team this year. Moore with nowhere to go off the left side. Ran into Trey Thomas and Caden Fordham for a loss, and 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a huge 3rd down. We already know if they get enough, they probably may go for it coming off of the turnover. So Duke may use this as 4-down territory again. But defensively, if you're North Carolina State, this is a new defense. This isn't that 3-3-5 we're used to seeing under Coach Gibson a year ago. This is the 4-2-5.
Led by new coordinator DJ Elliott, who shows pressure here. Duke runs it with Moore and nowhere to go. Into the arms of the 5th-year senior Travali Price for a loss of 1. And 4th down coming up.
I love when big guys go and make plays. That's Trevally Price. He just engages. He's going to be on the left side of the screen. Watch how he just engages and just gets rid of the offensive lineman. That's how you do it. You get in there, you engage, and he just throws Bruno Fina, the left tackle. Just get out of my way.
Saw the ball came out at the end, but clearly forced out by the ground at the end of the run. And so remember with Duke's special teams as well, that they've had all kinds of woes with their field goal game. So that's part of the calculus that you're talking about when you do get into plus territory. But they do send out Cade Reynolds again here. And again, a pre-snap whistle. Play clock was winding down.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Great job by the NC State defense. You talked about it's been a resilient bunch, led by DJ Elliott in getting the stop after the turnover. Reynoldson handles the low snap and booms one away. And this one is deflected and takes a turn out of bounds off the mitts of the freshman Teddy Hoffman at the 1. So that is costly from NC State. True freshman who has earned the punt return job for the Wolfpack sets up NC State at its own 1 after this.
Whether you're in elementary, middle, or high school, or you're in higher education, your dedication is truly amazing.
The time, effort, and personal resources that you put into making sure that the children reach their potential cannot be matched, and you play an essential role in making our community great.
ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week every year to celebrate great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. Here at Wallace Wade Stadium, they asked all teachers, education professionals to stand during the last time out. Back here in Durham, and NC State begins at its own 1 midway through the first. Tight quarters for C.J. Bailey, who will roll. Bailey fires toward the sideline and got it complete. Keenan Jackson the grab, good for a 1st down at 14.
That's how you get out of the hole, right? You're backed up. You're like, what are you going to do? Well, this is what they do a lot. Right-handed quarterback C.J. Bailey, just get him on a half roll, just a half roll, which gives him a little bit of time, but to allow that route to develop. And now you got a little bit of breathing room out past the 15.
3rd possession for this NC State offense. Smothers blown up in the backfield. All kinds of penetration from Duke, clamping down. Kimari Robinson came in as Tyshawn Reed set the edge.
Man, nice job by Robinson. They brought him on a little bit of pressure. He's the outside corner, and they brought a corner blitz to knock that one in the backfield. That's probably maybe one of the things we see in order. How do you stop Hollywood Smothers? Show him some different looks. That time the corner, Robinson.
It's a screen set up to the tight end, Justin Jolie, and he can scoot, and he gets tripped up near the 30. Deshaun Stone wraps up Jolie after 18.
This is just a nice job by the tackle, Teague Anderson. He kind of hides in there a little bit, and he gets out late, and Jolie right behind him makes the play. Watch that guy right there, Teague, the right tackle, gets out, and he's the lead blocker right behind him, and Jolie gets the positive yards.
Broke free of the ankle tackle from Trey Freeman. Fresh set of downs out of the backfield. Nice catch by Hollywood Smothers, who spins away from Trey Freeman. How fun is this kid for 8 yards?
It's like watching a video game in person. I mean, that's just an easy one-handed grab. Dare I say easy one-handed grab? And then gets into the spin cycle twice. Just making one of the best tacklers for Duke's defense, and Trey Freeman miss. That should have been just a minimal game, and yet it turns into an 8-yard gain on a routine outside play for Mr. Smothers.
1 year at Oklahoma, now his 2nd year with NC State. Duke Scott spells him and picks up a 1st down. So fresh set of downs from the NC State 45 for the Wolfpack. Big blocking tight end Cody Hardy, 44 in white. And they run that way with Scott with a cut. He takes it into plus territory. Josiah Green tracked him down, but not before 15 yards.
Yeah, I'm giving some love to the guys up front. Big Anthony Carter, 75, the left guard, just gets out. He gets a nice little block on Morris, the linebacker.
Screen. This is Keenan Jackson, and he picks up about 5. Good rhythm here to NC State for the first time on its 3rd possession.
And it's all being quarterbacked by C.J. Bailey, right? He's just a cool, confident guy. Just totally different than what we saw last year. I thought last year as a freshman, he was just running plays. Didn't really understand what he was doing. And I think now in year 2, especially in this offense with a new offensive coordinator, he wants to know the why. He's telling you why, and he's showing you with his play.
Scott again with a mean stiff arm, and Scott picks up a first down. A faceful to Luke Murgott, the redshirt sophomore backup Mike linebacker.
Oh man, this is a physical run. Watch the end of this play. It's just right there. You got a linebacker on you, and he just mushes him down to the ground. Duke Scott trying to show you, hey, I want some carries too. It's not all about Hollywood. Duke making some plays here at Duke.
First name Jaden, nickname Duke. And this offense led by Kurt Roper. NC State fired Robert Anai after last year. Kurt Roper had been the quarterback's coach, longtime assistant, and he got promoted to offensive coordinator. Bailey, quick hitter, and a good tackle made by Caleb Weaver on Teddy Hoffman. It's the kind of tackling that Duke's defense has been looking for from its defensive backs, like Francois and this guy, Caleb Weaver.
Yeah, just get the guy down. People think that tackling is so difficult. Sometimes just get the guy down. Wrap up and get to the next down. But it's been these plays in the open field that we've seen Duke's defense throughout the early parts of the season. They've had some difficulty.
Teddy Hoffman can breathe a little easier as well. Pre-snap movement there, elicited by C.J. Bailey.
They're going to get Terry Simmons right there. Just a false start right over the ball. I mean, not a false start. I'm sorry.
False
Offsides.
start. Offense, number 27. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, they're going to get Ashton Locklear.
That's
backup wide receiver first.
I need to see the outside on that one because I'm watching the center. And he snaps the football when Simmons is in the neutral zone. So I don't know where the call may have came from the outside. Because 27, Locklear is a wide receiver. Where did that?
Bottom of your screen with a little flinch with his legs there.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess you really could have got both. I'm not sure if that's what prompted Terry Simmons off. In any event, on 2nd and 12, quarterback draw with Bailey. And the baby giraffe, as Hollywood's mother's likes to call him, can run a little bit as well. He picks up 6, 3rd down and medium.
Well, the spread that you saw from the receivers, there was no linebacker or safety in the middle of the field. And C.J. Bailey sees that, and what happens? He just takes off and gets now to a manageable 3rd down here, Mike.
C.J. Bailey was a true freshman last year against Duke and had some struggles. That was a Duke win in Raleigh, 29-19. Big 3rd down here. Bailey rifles, and it's caught. Sure-handed grab by Keenan Jackson for a 1st down.
Oh, it's just a nice job by Bailey. He had to wait, but watch the quarterback's feet on this one. Just watch the quarterback, Bailey. He gets the snap, and then watch as his feet, he just a subtle move to the left. Not a lot, he's not escaping, but just a little bit to the left to buy a little bit of time and get the 1st down.
Bailey 6 of 6 on this drive for 55 yards. Again, this drive started at the 1. 12th play of the drive. Bailey underneath. Jolie spins for a few more away from Nick Morris. 8-yard pickup, 2nd down and short.
You kind of like this drive right now for C.J. Bailey. This drive started all the way down there at the 1-yard line, and they're just methodically moving down the field, and you got an injured Duke player on the field.
Media timeout.
The 5th-year senior Mike linebacker Nick Morris, right as NC State entered the red zone. We'll step aside. Back here in Durham, Nick Morris, the 5th-year senior Mike linebacker, is down, and they have his right leg wrapped after he was in on the tackle on the previous play. Remember, Nick Morris last year suffered a season-ending lower body injury in week 1.
There's Nick Morris right here in the middle of the screen. And we didn't actually see a particular time when the injury occurred, but it just looks as if the right leg now in the air cast. I think maybe a little friendly fire there by Wesley Williams, 97, coming in and just at the end.
And the card comes out for the native of Fairfield, Connecticut, who said his injury last year was so tough to digest. Jonathan Patke, the defensive coordinator, has just gushed about Nick Morris. Told us he is extremely brilliant. Teammates will say Morris is the smartest guy on the team in terms of football IQ. Knows every call, every stunt, and he had worked so hard to come back from injury last year. He's on record as saying there is no amount of money, there is no playing time opportunity at any school that could ever take him away from Duke. So you feel for Nick Morris and you understand why everyone is around him right now.
Hey, you don't have to watch Duke on defense long on tape all week. Number 36 in the middle, he's the guy that's lining everybody up. He's pointing, he's giving everybody on the same page, and so it'll be a huge blow to this defense for the rest of this game.
They've been off to a great start to this season as well. Jonathan Patke had praised his work when we chatted with him yesterday. Played really well 2 weeks ago against Illinois. Top 15 team in the country. Well, he went down last year, and guys like Ozzie Nicholas stepped up. Nicholas last year was a transfer from Princeton. Right now, it's going to go to Luke Murgott, who also stepped into a bigger role last year after Morris's injury last season in week 1. Murgott, a redshirt sophomore who's been backing him up, plays hard, plays physically. He steps in with one of the Duke leaders defensively out of this game. And a lengthy NC State drive resumes from inside the 10. On second down and 2, quarterback run. Bailey got toward the edge with a flag down. Gets bumped out of bounds at the 2. We've got 2 flags down.
Yeah, I think they get the right guard on this one.
Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Val Erickson rotating in, the redshirt junior from Chicago.
Man, rotating in for Kamen Smith. It's the right guard right here. Just watch him get back out and just watch him along the path of the block. He gets in, and Bailey just goes right to the outside, but you can see that right hand that's hooked for the flag.
And then watch an injury at the end of the play as well. We've got a Duke player still down injured just off the end zone. See, that's 26, Mekhi Jones, true freshman backup safety.
Yeah, I think at the end of a play, he ran into a little friendly fire there. You got 3 guys running to the football, and Freeman and Robinson, and Jones just got hit by one of his own teammates trying to make the play on Bailey.
Native of Newark, New Jersey, able to get up and walk off the field. Yeah, let's take a look. You mentioned the friendly fire there with Trey Freeman.
Yeah, so he's
black, and then Kimari Robinson in the corner.
Yeah, Robinson, just they meet right near the pylon. And those are always the hardest ones because you're never able to brace yourself. You see, you're trying to make the play, and then your buddy's trying to make the play, and you kind of collide right there on the sideline. So that usually what's happened when you run to the football. That's the one thing about Duke, this football team. When you watch them on defense, they fly around. They play aggressive, and at those aggressive plays, sometimes you run into each other.
So some attrition here on Manny Diaz's defense on this lengthy NC State drive. Already 12 plays and already 80 yards in 7+ minutes in duration. CJ Bailey is 7 for 7 for 63 yards on this drive. Bailey keeps with a stutter step and a spin inside the 10. Chandler Rivers wrapped him up. 10-yard pickup for CJ Bailey. And it sets up third down.
Well, you don't see this too often. Number 7, Vincent Anthony Jr., he drops into coverage. They were expecting pass, Duke was, and yet they ran the football with Bailey. So I can tell you this, you won't see number 7 in black dropping in coverage here on third down. He'll be right there in the mix. But that time, Duke got caught playing coverage rather than playing the run.
And Bailey can run 3 rushing touchdowns the first 2 games. Now third down and short for the Wolfpack. Three tight ends in the game. A give to Smothers. And Smothers has plenty for a first down. And the pile pushes for 4.
And these tight ends, you love watching them work. Coach Durham talked about his tight end group, especially Cody Hardy, 44. He's the best blocker. Watch 44. He's tight in there. Watch him get up, though. It's 44, Cody Hardy. See how he just gets enough. He gets his guy and pushes up the field. That gives enough of a seam for Hollywood Smothers. You don't need much for Smothers, but you're going to give him a lane like that, they're going to take those yards any day.
What a drive this has been from NC State, chewing up half of the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter.
They'll try to cap it off when we come back to Durham.
Andy's Heart by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Well, Coach Diaz, you lose your green dot, Nick Morris, devastating injury. How do you get your defense refocused?
We have to respond, right? We talked about this being a 60-minute game. We knew that there would be adversity. I'm gutted for Nick, you know, great person and a great player. But our guys want to do it right for him, and that's what they'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you heard for Nick Morris and a Duke defense that has been out on the field for 8.5 minutes to close that first. 15th play of the drive for NC State, and it's C.J. Bailey, wrapped up by Aaron Hall. 5th-year senior nose tackle and 2-time captain had the penetration.
Yeah, nice job by Hall. He came on a loop, Mike. He was inside, but he stunted to where the tight end was. And that's a nice job of getting your team to third down.
NC State, last time it had a 99-yard touchdown drive was back in 2018. They started at their own 1 after Teddy Hoffman's flub on the punt return.
That's the guy right there, Joe Lee, the tight end, number 7.
On second down and goal. Bailey floats one. End zone touchdown. The second touchdown for Terrell Anderson. And what a drive from NC State.
It takes time. You got to give props to the offensive line first. But this route took forever to happen. And watch, he's going to motion down in here, and watch how he sneaks right behind in between there. And that's how the route was developed. That's a long run for Robinson, the cornerback, but he gets right over the top of the linebackers. And Robinson gets picked off by the official, and that's where the touchdown happens.
A 99-yard drive. Third 99-yard touchdown drive by any team in the country this season, and the first one for NC State since 2018.
Man, that's just a beautiful drive. They had to be mixed in the run, the pass, the quarterback run, and then you get all the way down here, and you're expecting some kind of short throw to the right-handed quarterback, a short roll to the right, and they go throw all the way back to the left. That time, just a little miscommunication there by Duke defensively. Robinson, that corner, had Anderson actually in coverage, and he tried to pass off late. You can't pass off down there inside the 5-yard line. Things happen quick, things happen tight. He tried to pass that off to the linebacker. This may be the first situation where not having Nick Morris, the linebacker out there, may have seen what happened so far.
And how good was C.J. Bailey on that drive? 8 of 8 for 69 yards. And when we talked with Manny Diaz, he said, look, for as bad as the pass defense has been, for as frustrated as they've been with that, they knew they were really going to get tested by Bailey and the Pack offense here today. Charlie Birtwistle gets it away, and a touchback. Surgical, over 99 ruling yards, and so much of it off the arm of Bailey.
No, they did a little bit of everything, and just watching Bailey, easy. It's screen plays, just to the outside. This time, Jolie, he started it off, and an unbelievable catch by Smothers on the outside, and then the QB. Do it yourself sometimes, CJ Bailey. He takes off and gets positive yards. Then you get down there, hand it off to Smothers. A nice block by Hardy, the tight end. And then just look at the protection. He's got time, and Bailey delivering to Anderson for the touchdown.
Mighty impressive from Dave Doran's offense. And now Darian Mensah back to work, and he connects with Cooper Barkade, the Harvard transfer. 8-yard pickup, and the first time Cooper Barkade gets involved.
Yeah, my only thing for Duke would be don't panic. You know, offensively, you've been on the sideline for a long time. Don't feel like you have to get everything back in one play.
They've had some issues with turnovers this season. Shepard slips free, and Shepard's got enough for a first down. Well, they are really high on this kid. True freshman from Louisiana, the leading rusher for Duke through 3 games. And last week, he led them in snaps among their 4 running backs.
Yeah, he's just a guy that just every week he gets better and better. He's a young freshman, but you're seeing the snap count go up each game, like you mentioned, Mike. They're trusting the young number 20 to make some plays.
Johnny Brewer told us he was one of the 2 bright spots offensively in the loss last week. Mensah with the pocket collapsing, taken down by Caden Fordham for a loss of 2. Nowhere to go for Darian Mensah.
That's just a nice job by Caden Fordham. He gets to his hook curl in the zone drop, and he's just keeping eyes on the quarterback. You love when a guy just keeps eyes on the quarterback and you wait till the quarterback commits and you go make the play. Watch number 1 in the middle of your screen for him. He's just on his hook. He's on his hook, but see, he keeps his eyes on the quarterback. That quarterback commits and you go make the play.
So on 2nd down and long, Mensah zips one too high. There is a flag down. Ronnie Royal, the redshirt freshman safety, had the coverage on Quayshawn Brown.
I want to see, because it looked like they arrived at the same time. I don't, this may be a difficult
Pass
call.
interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I mean, Royal read the play, and it's sort of a bang-bang. I think he gets there right as the ball is getting there, but I think when you have that arm wrapped around up top, that's the one where the official right there, who's the back judge, that's what he saw, and he threw the flag.
Looks to me like he restricts Brown's ability to jump there.
Yeah, it's all about the restriction. You try to keep that arm as low as possible. He's trying to get the left hand in there, but the right arm, because it's up around that shoulder pad, the back judge is right there. He threw the flag. I thought it was bang-bang, but that second look at it from behind, you show the restriction that you mentioned, Mike, for the pass interference.
So 1st down and 10 for Duke. Shepard. Caden Fordham in on a stop after a yard. What do you make of this Duke offense? With Darian Mensah at the controls, we know how Johnny Brewer, the offensive coordinator, a Rhett Lashley good friend and disciple, wants it to look. What's it look like to you through 3 games and now here in the first half?
Well, to me, I love the way that Mensah kind of disperses the football to everyone. It's not just one leading guy. He throws it to everyone. And then you got the running back by committee. Would love to see maybe 1 or 2 guys just be your bell cows, but right now, Mensah, in learning the offense through the first 3 weeks, I love the way that everybody is involved.
Anderson Castle, 1 cut running, and he picks up 5, 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Anderson Castle's kind of like the 3rd down back. And so, but he's the guy that you may be your lead back because he's a downhill runner and gets you those positive yards. And I love this situation right here, 3rd and medium. You could do a lot here. And the one that we haven't seen just yet, Mike, is Darian Mensah really take a shot deep down the field.
This is an offense under Johnny Brewer that is known for that. They love taking deep shots. Part of why Darian Mensah, he was telling us this week, really wanted to come here and play in this offense. Brown in motion. Castle again. Stacked up. 4th down coming up. Joseph Adedire on the stop with Brandon Cleveland as well.
Adedire, watch 25 right here. Watch him fight. Watch him fight to the outside, refusing to be blocked. I always say that, right, Mike? Refuse to be blocked and go make a play. He's got 2 guys on him, and he splits the offensive lineman trying to get him, and he goes makes the play. Yeah, everybody else got the tackle, but Adedire was the one that really caused that play.
First snaps of the season for Joseph Adedire, just back. Redshirt junior defensive end and Texas Tech transfer. Reynoldson with a kick that goes into the end zone past Teddy Hoffman. 14-7, NC State's got the lead in the football after this.
ESPN College Football is presented by Claude, the AI for problem solvers, and in part by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Let's take a look at the college football headlines presented by Twisted Tea. And how about the trouble for Clemson? Syracuse up by 20. Clemson has never lost 3 of its first 4 in the tenure of Dabo Swinney. SMU went down today against TCU 35-24, and a big one tonight in the state of Florida. Number 4 Miami against the Gators. Second quarter here, back here at Wallace Wade Stadium, and Hollywood Smothers is wrapped up. How impressive is that from Syracuse? And then what's going on with Clemson?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. Syracuse, they came to play today. They get a score early on, and they go for a quick onside kick, and they get it. So Fran Brown and his group, they're being aggressive. I'm not surprised right now because they've been playing like they're here on fire. They've been ready to go since they had to run those sprints after a game.
You don't see that very often.
No, Clemson, I have no idea, Mike. I think the expectations for Klubnik right now was about NFL. They're just trying to win a game.
C.J. Bailey checks it down. Hollywood Smothers finishes a hit on Chandler Rivers. Hey now, Hollywood Smothers.
You know, earlier I talked about his vision, speed, but maybe it's that number 3 thing I talked about, his explosion. Watch how he explodes at the end. That's an all-conference cornerback in Chandler Rivers. Maybe second guessing. That's maybe a business decision in the second half, trying to approach Hollywood Smothers.
Lowering the shoulder at 5'11", 195 pounds. NC State is 3 for 3 on third downs. Screen. Hoffman blown up by Rivers. Hoffman went spinning close to the sticks, and it is very close. Looks like he's short, and it's 4th down coming up.
Well, I think somebody was a little upset at the previous play, and that was Chandler Rivers. Watch the outside as this play develops. Chandler Rivers holds the outside. The ball is thrown, but watch him attack. He attacks his play number 0. He goes right there, Chandler Rivers, and knocks Joe Lee, the tight end, back, and that's what created the play.
So 4th and inches, but in their own territory at the 29. And so Dave Doran sends out Caden Noonkester, the 6'6", 5th-year senior from Waxhaw, North Carolina. And on a fake, NC State's got enough for a 1st down. How about that decision? They fake it with the tight end Cody Hardy and pick it up in their own territory.
Yeah, they got set quickly. You have to have a call, Mike. There has to be a call. Watch Hardy right here. That ball's directly snapped to him, and he just gets right in between that pile. Almost turned it into like a rugby play. It's obviously different than the tush push, but Hardy got between that offensive line and just went forward. The way those plays happen, Mike, there has to be a code word that you use, because you can't go and call that in the huddle. That was called from the sideline.
Smothers draws a flag on the Duke defense. Looks like a face mask from Wesley Williams on a run for no gain. Check in with Justin Elliott after the conversion for Cody Hardy. How's that for your first career FBS touch after transferring in from FCS Elon?
I'm just impressed that they got it called.
Face mask. Defense, number 97. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
I mean, Cody Hardy is 267 pounds. He's a blocking tight end.
Right.
Comes in from Elon. Dave Doran told us he's the best blocking tight end that he's ever been around. He's been a huge blessing for their offense, and he's the guy they go to on the fake.
Mike, it's impressive to understand that that play was called from the sideline while the entire punt unit is going out there on the field. Maybe this week it was devil, but that was the trick play, and they got it executed.
Duke Scott just back toward the line of scrimmage. And so we've had all these moments already in this first half. We had the penalty on NC State defensively before a would-be Duke punt kept the Duke drive alive for its only touchdown, and then Hardy keeps this drive in motion.
Yeah, about 7 minutes and 40 seconds left here before halftime. If I told you the theme of our game has been what? Special teams. Yes, we've got some outstanding quarterbacks, but it's really been dominated by special teams mistakes, but also some great special teams plays.
Bailey rolls. Caught along the sideline by Duke Scott. Picks up 5 yards. Mekhi Jones back into the game on the stop, and third down coming up. And so where does your mind go here for this offense on third down?
Well, who's been the player of the game so far offensively has been Terrell Anderson, right, number 9. So he seems to be the guy that C.J. Bailey has been looking for in these critical moments, critical situations. But also, we got to remember about the legs of C.J. Bailey as well. If you don't put a safety in the middle of the field or a linebacker, he'll take off and run.
It's 11 straight completions for C.J. Bailey. Bubble screen to the outside and a cut field. Plenty of running room down the sideline for Noah Rogers. The redshirt sophomore from Raleigh picks up 25.
It's all about blocking, though. That's what happened. Watch his receivers. His receiving buddies helped him out. Well, you got the tight end as well in there. Joe Lee's out at the front at the point of attack, but you get another block by Keenan Jackson, and you just go out and let Noah Rogers be Noah Rogers, making guys miss. 5'6", 197-pound sophomore right here from Raleigh.
And yet again, we're seeing screens really hurt the Duke defense, and C.J. Bailey has picked them apart. Anderson for the touchdown in the first, and then the third down pickup there to Noah Rogers. From just outside the red zone. Smothers out of the backfield. Plenty of running room. Hollywood Smothers is in. Touchdown. Add physicality to the highlight reel of Hollywood Smothers.
It's just an outstanding play. There's so many elements to this play, but you got Smothers out there in space, and we've shown you throughout the game, you just need a little bit of space, and he's going to make sure that he gets to the end zone. A lot of things happen there, but it's an outstanding play by Smothers. But I want you to watch the tight end, though. We're going to get to the tight end, Joe Lee. Joe Lee is going up the field, but everybody's in coverage on him, and nobody picked up Smothers, who ran right behind him.
We saw Smothers down on the sideline as well at the end of a physical run in which he ran over Andrew Pellicciata, the true freshman backup safety. And now replay has stopped this to have a look at it from Hollywood Smothers.
Initially, it looked like it was good from here, but was the knee down before that ball crossed the plane?
Absorbs the contact, knee down. Where's the ball when that knee is down?
That right knee, when that right knee touches, looks about the 1 yard line. Is that ball? Do we have a definitive angle that shows that the ball is not across that goal line? Right knee and he's still turning, but where is the football when the right knee? And I think, oh, that's the look right there, Mike. See this look right here? If I'm looking at this goal line right here, and there's the football right there. I think he's short. I think they put this ball right inside of the 1 yard line.
Smothers is up after he went down on the sideline. Guy who has been a workhorse so far this season in the first 4 games now for NC State.
Yeah, I think this probably will be reversed, not upheld. So the ruling on the field is touchdown, but I think they're going to put this right there on the 1 yard line.
Let's have one more look at it. Make sure, to what you're saying, the knee was down there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the knee being down. But here's a goal line.
After review, the runner was down with the ball at the half-yard line. It's first and goal there.
Yep. Clear and obvious enough to overturn it. And so Hollywood Smothers just short of a would-be touchdown.
My only thing is, if I'm Smothers, can I go back and go get the? Can I go back in the game? I want to make sure I go and pay it off. But an outstanding job of Smothers getting it down in there.
Well, instead of Smothers, they're going to turn to Will Wilson at quarterback for C.J. Bailey. Will Wilson is the 230-pound true freshman who's had 4 snaps this season. Look how his 4 snaps have gone. Short yardage, they will run him.
Yes.
Even on the 3rd and 1, they kept him in. They drew a Wake Forest timeout. Bailey came back in on 4th down and had a touchdown. Will Wilson rumbles in for a touchdown. There is a flag down right near the line of scrimmage that came in late.
I think everybody on that North Carolina State sideline, as well as the fans, all knew that it was going to be a run play. I think Duke knew it, and that's where the frustration probably came in at the end, was frustration by Duke, knowing that Wilson was coming in to run the play, and yet they still couldn't defense it.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 7, his first. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So that hurts on the senior defensive end, VJ Anthony, Durham native, who's had an awesome start to the season, frustrated by another lengthy NC State drive.
You know what play was coming, you still couldn't defend it, Mike. That's the hard part. That's the frustration there on the Duke defense after the touchdown.
Kanoa finds sets on for the point after, and no good. He pulls it left. But NC State got creative on 4th down with the fake punt, and they pay it off with Will Wilson.
Yeah, you get the good pull, and then Mr. Wilson, touchdown, Wolfpack.
ESPN College Football, presented by Claude, is brought to you by Discover. It pays to discover.
Will Wilson caps off a touchdown drive for NC State, and this offense has been very impressive ever since that C.J. Bailey interception off the tip from Chandler Rivers. The Wolfpack offense has totally been in gear.
Yeah, it's been in gear. We always talked about Hollywood Smothers before the game, but it's been C.J. Bailey finding other guys, Anderson, Jackson, Rogers. It's been the passing game for sure that's really fueled this North Carolina State offense.
And then Will Wilson scores his first collegiate touchdown to pay off what C.J. Bailey has done. Kick from the 50 is short, and here is Shepard. And he gets banged out of bounds just shy of the 30. And that's where Duke will start with it, down by 13. Inside of 6 to go in the first half when we come back. Kick off your Week 3 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the ESPN app. And then Week 3 Monday Night Football. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens against Jared Goff and the Lions. Coverage kicks off with SVP and the Monday Night Countdown Crew in Baltimore at 6 Eastern. They reviewed the hit for potential targeting from LaCorian Hodge, true freshman, who absolutely popped Nate Shepard. They decided it was not targeting. Looked like side of the helmet, maybe shoulder, but not crown of the helmet from LaCorian Hodge. So Duke sets up shop just past the 25 with Darian Mensah and the Blue Devils down by 13. Mensah, there's the deep shot, downfield and incomplete. Looking for Andrell Anthony, the transfer from Oklahoma, but Brian Nelson hung with him.
Yeah, Nelson was step for step. I think he was aware of it. Nice job by Nelson staying on top, and a misfire from Mensah.
Hey, worth noting on this NC State defense, remember, we already told you Sebastian Harsh, 6th-year senior defensive end, is out this half due to targeting. Kean Sloan, the other stud defensive end, he's questionable to return with an upper extremity injury. Flag down as Mensah rolls, and Mensah dragged out of bounds near the sticks by Brody Barnhart. Might be on the center, Matt Craycraft of Duke.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Redshirt junior from Dallas, a second-year starter on this offensive line for the Blue Devils that is experienced.
Yeah, just watch him. He's just trying to work here and be late in the play. But this is where the hold comes. It's a nice job.
Correction, that penalty is declined. It's third down.
Big Brandon Cleveland was the one with the swim move. And now you get third down. They declined it.
That feels like the right move. Third down and 10 instead of second down and long. So, big opportunity for this NC State defense, trying to get off the field with all the momentum here. Duke is 0 of 3 on third down. Mensah stands in and zips one complete past the 40. Quayshawn Brown, the redshirt sophomore nicknamed Queso, picks up 15.
Yeah, Queso ran just a nice little in cut on the outside, knew where the yard marker was, and got right there.
That is much needed for this Duke offense. Back to the air and a drop from Cooper Barcates. Quayshawn Brown steps up in a big way, coming off a huge game last week in the loss to Tulane.
Yeah, just a nice job by Quayshawn Brown. He felt it. Came right in. It was a nice job by the offensive line. North Carolina State showed 5, but they dropped 2 in coverage and only rushed 3. That gave the time that Mensah needed for that route to develop for the first down throw.
A fake to Shepard, and Mensah goes back to him. And a sure-handed tackle by Caden Fordham. Well, Caden Fordham's got to step up. Sean Brown, fifth-year senior Mike linebacker, alongside the Will linebacker Fordham. Those are some of the pieces that have played well on this defense, in addition to Sloan and Harsh, unavailable for this team.
Well, he's unavailable for another 4 minutes, so I know he can't wait to get back out there. Number 54 for North Carolina State, who's out for the first half with targeting.
Duke needs 4. 4-man rush. Mensah across the middle and hung on to by Jeremiah Hazley for a first down. Big catch again by Hazley, who's been active in this first half.
And we always talk about combat catches, Mike. That was one, knowing you're going to be in friendly fire. That time, holding on to it was Hazley, knowing he's going to take a big hit.
And now Mensah underneath again. Another completion. Caden Fordham in on the stop on the check down to Shepard for 6.
And then here comes a rotation on the opposite side for North Carolina State. This is just dinking and dunking. Just minimal gains for Duke. Why? North Carolina State's not giving up the deep throws. They're playing with 2 high safeties. And will Darian Mensah take the little throws, or will he get greedy and try to get one down the field with these safeties playing so high?
You know Duke loves those deep shots. Shepard with a burst and got to the second level. Ran into Brody Barnhart, picks up 13 yards.
Yeah, nice job blocking up front, getting big guys out. And Shepard, man's trying to really put himself as RB number 1 in this rotation of running backs at Duke.
Fresh set of downs, and now Mensah will run for the first time. And Mensah ducks down underneath Barnhart. Very close to a first down, and it is enough with the legs of Darian Mensah. And a smile from Mensah as well. And now, as Duke offense gets into the red zone, and one of the big themes for Duke all week, can they get touchdowns when they get here and finish drives?
When you think about the red zone, Mike, condensed quarters, so they got to find a way to create space and find some open room where Mensah can operate.
Mensah toward the end zone, and it is caught! What a catch by Landon King! Up the ladder for 6. He goes right over the top of Assad Brown, stepping in for the injured Jackson Vick.
Yeah, they tried to find a way. What they do, they actually delayed Landon King. They delayed the tight end, Mike. We were talking about how would they create the space. Well, they're able to create the space by delaying King on his initial run off the line of scrimmage, and that's how they got to the one-on-one. And when you've got a 6'5" tight end, you just throw it up to him. Nice play by King.
Fifth-year senior who transferred in from Utah after he started his career at Auburn. He's from Beaumont, Texas, and was childhood friends with Duke's All-American corner, Chandler Rivers. Second week in a row with a touchdown for Landon King on a pretty ball from Darian Mensah. Hey, for 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate. So big answer there by Duke, and that was much needed. Duke's going to get the football to begin the second half, and they get it down to a one-score game.
It's just a nice job of staying with it. They get all the way down in there, and then all of a sudden you had to find a way to create some space, and they did it by delay with the tight end. So you get a delay coming off the line of scrimmage, and then you get the one-on-one, which was late. Outstanding job of locating it and finding it was Darian Mensah.
So often this season, Duke's been playing from behind. Andy Diaz was talking to us yesterday about game state. Just keeping them in a normal game state will benefit the offense, and they do keep this a one-score game. Topolino gets it away, and a fair catch signal from Duke Scott. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Goodyear. Big one coming tonight on ABC, 7:30 Eastern time, Miami and Florida.
Same with that Illinois and Indiana game. We saw, you know, all week long. That's the tape that I watched the most, was Duke and Illinois. A couple weeks back here, where Illinois came in and really physically pushed Duke around defensively. That's a good football team, the Illinois. The Fighting Illini are.
We got a good game going on ESPN2 as well. Syracuse still up by 13 on Clemson, with inside of 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there. Coming up on 2 to go in the first half here, and Hollywood smothers with a cutback for a loss of 1. Jaden Francois in on the stop, with the 2-minute timeout approaching. So NC State content to run this down to the 2-minute timeout. Manny Diaz will keep all 3 timeouts for now.
That is,
and we'll step aside.
Timeout.
6-point lead for C.J. Bailey in the pack. .2014 is the lead for NC State on Duke with 2 to go in the first half. Hey, coming up 7:30 Eastern time on ABC and the ESPN app. Number 4 Miami and Florida in action at Hard Rock Stadium.
Would you jump off the high dive, Mike?
Ooh, I
like
don't
Pat
know.
McAfee did this morning?
I do not know. Certainly wouldn't be wearing a Speedo. All right, big game situations here for Dave Doran and Manny Diaz. Both have all 3 timeouts, and a huge second down play call from Kurt Roper, who does go to the air with C.J. Bailey down the sideline, dropped into Terrell Anderson. They got aggressive, and Anderson beats Landon Callahan and picks up 43.
I think they get aggressive, Mike, because they don't get the ball to start the second half. Duke does. So what did you do? You get Anderson on the outside. He did a great job of running the imaginary, what I call yellow line. It's an imaginary line out there. You see how he stays on that nice path, and it gets and allows the quarterback, Bailey, to throw that ball over the shoulder, and enough time for Anderson to adjust for the big catch.
How about those numbers from C.J. Bailey? He's 14 for 14 since the interception. Smothers broke away, and Anthony trips him up from behind. And how about the day for Terrell Anderson as well? He's got 2 touchdown grabs. His other catch is that one for 43 yards.
Yeah, he's making himself number 1, right? He wants to be wide receiver number 1. I think coming in, it was all about Jackson and Grimes, but right now, Anderson is the big play.
Grimes was a game-time decision coming in. Pocket collapses on Bailey, looking for somewhere to go, and Josiah Green wraps him up on 3rd down for no gain. So a timeout used here by NC State.
NC State, they're first. 30 seconds.
So 3rd down coming up. Well, these teams met for so many years consecutively until 2005, when divisions arrived in the ACC. So the last time that NC State won here in Durham was 2008, with Russell Wilson quarterbacking the Pack as a freshman.
I know that guy looked familiar, wearing her 16, the quarterback, Russell Wilson. I think he was part of the Pack. been a while, Mike.
These two schools separated by 22 miles, just about a 25-minute drive to get from Carter Finley Stadium to Wallace Wade Stadium. All right, so the timeout used ahead of 3rd down for NC State. 1:02 to go, and the ball at the 28-yard line for the Wolfpack. CJ Bailey has been special here in this first half.
Like Jolie up top, the tight end.
7 and 1 in the slot. Pressure off the edge. Bailey goes that way, and a good catch on a throw behind by Anderson. Chandler Rivers in on the immediate stop. They got the ball to the 25, so 4th down coming up with 57 seconds to go.
Duke, they're first. 30 seconds.
So Manny Diaz uses his first, and a big decision coming on 4th down and 3 for Dave Doran. How about the day for Terrell Anderson, the sophomore who grew up in Detroit, then moved to Greensboro, North Carolina?
He's had himself a day. And I think as this offense continues to evolve under Kurt Roper, he may be the guy that they just continue to find. He's 6'2", 192 pounds, homegrown, and he just has made plays today. He's been the #1 target from CJ Bailey. And when you start to make plays, then guess what? The quarterback tends to find you more in those gotta-have-it moments. That last 3rd down play, they went to Anderson, didn't get enough for the first. But here they are on 4th down, and I think this is the right decision.
They have changed kickers already this season. Does this feel like the right move to you?
Yeah, this is the right move. 4th down. I like it at CJ Bailey's hands.
They need 2. Looked like Duke jumps. Bailey is intercepted by Trey Freeman. Freeman breaks the tackle. Down the sideline. Knocked down inside the 15. "68 yards on the run back. No flags down. It looked like there was pre-snap movement on VJ Anthony.
It's a lot that happens here. They're not going to snap this play. Look at the receivers. They don't have a play. This was going to be no play. But because Anthony fakes the jump, the center snaps it because he thought he had an offsides. And Bailey's just running the play. See, that's all it is. There was no play. They were going to do no play. They were just trying to draw the Duke defense offside and then call timeout. But they didn't get the draw. The center snaps the football, and then Bailey turns what was already a bad play, a bad snap, into an even worse play in throwing the interception.
Did Anthony get back, though, or should that be offsides?
No, I never really saw him in the neutral zone. That's the thing. Never gotten really in the neutral zone. That's just a bad sequence for North Carolina State. NC State.
NC State's going to take a timeout here and settle in. So let's have another look. Left side of your screen, Anthony.
Yeah, see, Anthony never truly jumped. He went with the snap. And then CJ Bailey just throws a bad interception there. Again, look at all the receivers for NC State. They're still waiting for a call. The ball is snapped, and they're not even moving. Receivers aren't even. I don't think a call was actually made. A play was called in the huddle or even at the line of scrimmage.
And that is close. So you don't think it is offsides there on Anthony?
I'm looking at Jalen Grant, the center, assumed that someone was going to jump. That ball is snapped. It's tight, but I don't see enough to where that play would have been stopped.
Thank you. We welcome those of you now watching here on ESPN2. You picked a good time to join us after a wild one there across the weather delay. Duke's got the football, just had an interception, down by 6 against NC State. And Darian Mensah fires and draws a flag from Ronnie Royal, the redshirt freshman safety, on a ball intended for Jeremiah Hazley. Alongside Kirk Morrison and Don Davenport, I'm Mike Monaco for this Big Four rivalry meeting.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
If you're just joining us, NC State struck first in this game. Duke answered And NC State's offense has been in gear ever since, but CJ Bailey just threw his second interception of this ball game. The talented NC State quarterback on what he thought was a free play. There was no offsides call on Duke, and now Duke's got a chance to tie and perhaps take the lead.
Yeah, take the lead, but also get the ball to start the second half. So you obviously have an opportunity for a 2-for-1 possession.
They give it to the big-bodied running back, Anderson Castle, who gets stacked up by Caden Fordham. You got an NC State team that is 3-0 to start this season. They've had comebacks. They've been battle-tested. Duke at a surprising 1-2 start to this season. Losses against very good teams in Illinois and Tulane.
There's a timeout by NC State.
Final one used by Dave Doran.
Timeout. NC State, their third and final. 30 seconds.
So, if you are just joining us, you picked a good time to get involved with this one. We've had wild special teams plays in this game. We've had some turnovers. We had a fake punt. We've had a lot going on. And after a wild one between Syracuse and Clemson, welcome here to Wallace Wade Stadium. Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco with you. What is this first half has it come down to?
Well, it's really come about special teams. That's what we saw earlier on. We've had some going for it on fourth down in special teams. We've seen a mistake on a punt return where the ball goes out of bounds. We've seen a little bit of everything, but as the game has started to settle down, it's really come down to the quarterbacks. Darian Mensah really starting to have himself a day. And on the opposite side, 2 bad mistakes for CJ Bailey, but other than that, he's really dialed in and spread the football around to their wide receivers.
Yeah, his first interception was tipped. The second one, he thought he had a free play. And now his counterpart, Darian Mensah, the multi-million-dollar quarterback directing Duke. Anderson Castle finishes a run. Touchdown, Duke. The 6th-year senior transfer from Appalachian State, who they say always falls forward for a few yards, has run it 5 times for 5 yards, but 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's the linebacker, Sean Brown, 0. He's right there to make the play, and Castle runs right through him into the end zone. That's a big boy run for the guy they call Baby All-Stop.
Todd Polino comes on and gives Duke the lead in a back-and-forth first half. That touchdown set up by this. CJ Bailey thought VJ Anthony had jumped. Some confusion because of that from NC State, who was trying to add more points before halftime. Trey Freeman, the veteran linebacker, picks it off, runs it back 68 yards. But was it offsides on Duke or not?
Yeah, it was just too tight. And you get down near the goal line. Your middle linebacker, Sean Brown's right there to make the play. But number 4, you mentioned Anderson Castle, 6 foot, 215-pound grad transfer from App State, lowering the boom and taking over the Castle here at Duke.
So again, Duke is able to score late in the first half, and they grab the lead for Manny Diaz's bunch. And again, this is the decision. Watch 7 in black, the great defensive end, VJ Anthony. You don't think it was?
I don't think it was. I think it was simultaneous with the snap. But I think also some awareness that there was no play called in the huddle for NC State. That was just going to try to draw the Duke defense off sides. And I think they were going to call a timeout, NC State was. They were going to maybe try for a field goal there in that situation. A little confusion by CJ Bailey. That's where you just got to eat the football when you don't necessarily know.
And now a squib from Todd Polino. And NC State's got it at the 25 with just 12 seconds to go until halftime. Well, we've seen a lot in this first half so far. NC State had come in at 3-0, wins over East Carolina, Virginia, and then Wake Forest last Thursday. Against Virginia, trailed by 10 in the third quarter. Against Wake, went down by 14 quickly. CJ Bailey, this guy, sophomore captain from Miami. He's been playing so well this season, and outside of the 2 interceptions had been awesome, but those loom large in this game.
And a missed extra point is why the Blue Devils go to halftime with the lead.
Manny Diaz's group storms back thanks to the interception from the 5th-year senior will linebacker Trey Freeman. And the Blue Devils have the lead by 1, and they will get the football to begin the second half. Dave Doran with Don Davenport.
Thank you, Mike. Coach, how would you sum up the last 45 seconds of that half for your team?
Yeah, turnovers. We had a chance to get them to jump off sides. I thought they did jump off sides. The refs didn't. We'll see it on film. That was a critical mistake right there. Obviously, we thought we'd get a field goal. I was actually going to call a timeout if they didn't jump off sides. So tough play for us right there. It's a good football game. Two good football teams. Going to be a hell of a second half.
I know you wanted your offense to start faster. They did. Terrell Anderson has been great. How do you keep him going?
Yeah, we got to trust the throwing game. You know, I mean, their pass rush is good, you know, and they do a good job stopping the run. But Terrell's playing well. CJ's just got to trust his guys and get it out there and let them make plays for him.
Thank you, Coach.
Kirk, you said it. They weren't even going to run a play. They were just going to take the timeout. They trail. Now the Michelin halftime report. Kevin Connors and Trevor Maddich.
Mike, an entertaining 30 minutes there. It is the Michelin halftime report.
This halftime report is presented by Michelin, on the road and beyond.
NC State's got a 2-1 edge in terms of yardage, but Duke's got the lead thanks to Darian Mensah and Landon King. Second half, less than 9 minutes to play.
This halftime report is presented by Michelin, on the road and beyond.
To the playoff. CJ Bailey and Terrell Anderson have hooked up twice in this first half. Good one in the ACC, and the second half is next.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Claude. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. ACC opener for Duke, second conference game for 3-0 NC State, and it's a 1-point Blue Devils lead on the Wolfpack as we start the second half. Thanks for joining us. Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco back with you. Don Davenport down on the field. A wacky first half. Saw a little bit of everything. A lead as large as 13 for NC State, and then Duke answered right before halftime.
It's been kind of a crazy back and forth type of game, Mike. It's been special teams. It's been a little bit of everything in terms of turnovers. It's just going to be a wild second half.
All right, so stick with us. If you weren't watching in the first half, here's what you missed. On a third down to start the game, NC State threw a 75-yard screen to Terrell Anderson to start the scoring. Then Duke had the football, was going to punt it on 4th and 9, but an offsides penalty on NC State, so Duke went for it, converted. They cap it off with an Anderson Castle touchdown. NC State went on a 99-yard touchdown drive. Next drive, Cody Hardy ran a fake punt to set up this touchdown from CJ Bailey, again to Anderson, that made it 27. But Duke answered back with a couple of touchdowns, including on the interception, and they've got the lead. Darian Mensah connects to Samir Hagans, who runs over a defender and takes it out near the 45. Don.
Mike, Duke head coach Manny Diaz told his team at halftime, listen, we knew this wasn't going to be a beauty pageant, not pretty the entire game, but he was proud of how resilient his team had been. He said the key offensively, they need the ball back. They didn't have it a whole lot in the first half. He said this is going to be a back and forth game, and in order to get the ball back for the offense, his defense has got to tackle better. Likes how they stopped the run, but got to tackle better.
That was a huge key coming in. It's the true freshman, Nate Shepard, who picks up a good gain of 9. Darian Mensah, the redshirt sophomore, if you're just joining us, of course, transferred in from Tulane. He's earning at least $7 million over 2 years. It's been life-changing money. We enjoyed talking with him this week. He's been trying to get in gear with this new offense. And he throws the screen here to Quayshawn Brown down the sideline for a first down. How would you describe what you saw from Mensah in the first half?
To me, I just think that each play he gets better and better. You can see how comfortable he's getting in this offense. Only his 4th game in this offense right now of Jonathan Brewer. So you're seeing him really take control of everything and running everything from the line of scrimmage.
He told us this week, I didn't have a lot growing up. I can do a lot of things now in my life I couldn't do before for myself and my family. And Duke handpicked him to lead this team in the offseason. Mensah down the sideline, drops it into Hagans. It is a touchdown! A beauty, and Duke extends the lead.
Just looking at the end, does he toe step? That's a touchdown. That's all good by Samir Hagans. Wow, what a throw. We just talked about, hey, what's changed, what's been different? It's those types of plays. This is why you bring in Darian Mensah to play quarterback for you.
Manny Diaz, offensive coordinator, Jonathan Brewer and company, decided they wanted Darian Mensah in the portal. Malik Murphy had a good season last year for a 9-win Duke team, but they wanted this guy, Darian Mensah.
They wanted big plays down the field. We've been waiting for it. We've been talking about it. Mensah to Hagans.
Coming up 7:30 Eastern time over on ABC and the new and improved ESPN app. Sunshine State rivalry. It's Florida, DJ Langway, and 4th-ranked Miami, led by Carson Beck. Todd Polino sends it for a touchback, and NC State will get it after this touchdown from Darian Mensah.
And it was a great throw by Mensah, but the offensive line did a great job. But I want you to watch Caden Forden. He's going to blitz here, but watch the true freshman running back, Nate Shepard, meet him right in the hole. That's how you do it. This is how you earn playing time, Mike. If you're a true freshman, see how he tracks the linebacker, picks up the block, and Mensah had enough time to deliver the throw to Hagans for the touchdown.
A true freshman running back that they love from Louisiana. And Duke's up by 8. They've got 21 unanswered points in 3 minutes and 50 seconds of game time. So now C.J. Bailey back at the controls. The 6'6" sophomore quarterback who's been awesome to start the season. Hollywood Smothers, one of the most prolific running backs in the country for no gain. C.J. Bailey had a lot of good in the first half, but he also had those 2 interceptions.
Yeah, those 2 interceptions are the one that hurt the most because it gave opportunities to Duke to make some plays, to get the ball going for Mensah and that offense. And now you look at it here, it's one of those situations where he has to flush those interceptions and move on for the sophomore quarterback.
And you saw it, there were so many long stretches of really good in the first half from Bailey. Takes the underneath route, and he got it to Noah Rogers, who goes hurtling for a first down right over the top of Caleb Weaver to pick up 16.
Let's watch Noah Rogers climb the ladder. Oh, yeah, that's a high hurdle right there from Noah Rogers, getting the yards needed for the first down. That's full extension there by Noah Rogers.
Richard, sophomore from Raleigh, who last year transferred in from Ohio State. Quick hitter is the tight end, Justin Chun Lee, who stayed on his feet, dives forward away from Trey Freeman for a couple more, and it sets up 2nd down and 2.
That's a great throw on first down because it gives you the opportunity with 2nd and short to see if C.J. Bailey can maybe try to take one over the top.
Instead of give to Hollywood Smothers, who's got the great vision. Smothers hits the gas. Hello, Hollywood. Yards to the house.
First of all, I want you to watch the block by Justin Jolie. He's going to get here and watch that block. It allows Smothers to get in, ping pong his way, and then he's down the races for a touchdown. That's just the ability, the explosion and the speed. We talked about it all game long. This is what he can do with the ball in his hands.
And now NC State's going to go for 2 here. Kanoa Vineset, their kicker, missed an extra point in the first half. So Dave Doran's trying to get it back right here. Duke Scott's the running back. C.J. Bailey scrambles and gets cracked down by Wesley Williams. So NC State cannot tie it despite the touchdown from Hollywood Smothers. Top 6 in the country in rushing yards coming in. He adds to it with a house call. Hollywood Hollywood Smothers is not just a great name. He's been a star befitting the bright lights. Transferred in last year from Oklahoma, got off to a slow start and wasn't the lead back. But he finished strong, and that has carried over with a monster start this season. We told you coming into today, he was 6th in the entire country in rushing yards. Finally broke free to get it going. Saw how he started this game for the first half, and then he busts the big one with that great vision that you highlighted earlier.
Yeah, vision, speed, explosion, he has it all. And he also showed earlier his receiving capabilities as well. Got the ball, a nice little swing pass. Got it just short of the goal line, but they paid it off with a touchdown the next play.
Done.
I know you guys want to know where the nickname started, right? His freshman year of high school, played on varsity, scored 2 touchdowns on 3 carries. So a shout out to his high school coach, Brandon Sneed, said, lights, camera, action, you are Hollywood. Guess what? Principal of the school started using it. His teachers started using it. Parents embraced it, and it's the norm. It is so fitting, too. He has such a big personality, guys. Coach told us, he asked him at practice the other day, Coach, you ever coached anyone as good looking as me?
Just normal Wednesday conversation between Hollywood Smothers and Dave Doran. Here's a pitch to Nate Shepard, and he gets bumped out of bounds. So who else is on the ACC all-name team? Because you know that Hollywood Smothers is on it.
I love them all. Legend Journey, right, Cal.
Memorable Factor is going viral. Not available today for Duke.
Squirrel White.
The transfer to Florida State.
King Large. If I heard that name, offensive lineman. You can't be anything else if your name is King Large.
Just like you got to be a running back if you're Turbo Richard. That is good stuff. All right, 2-point game, and Duke with the football, and this is Anderson, don't call me Thad Castle, picks up a first down.
You see Nate Shepard was in the previous play, and I know he's a true freshman. I highlighted the block he had on the last series that helped for the touchdown throw from Darian Mensah, but you love this group of running backs. At first, I was a little skeptical. Running back by committee in college football, but it works here at Duke, and Nate Shepard showing us how to get it done, and Castle paying it off for the first down run.
Castle again runs behind Hazley and gets wrapped up by Trey Thomas. Yeah, Duke wanted to reshape its offense after last year. Remember, they had Malik Murphy, but the offense last year, 12th out of 17 teams in the ACC in scoring offense, 15th in yards per play. So Mensah in over Murphy, and a lot of new pieces around him as well. Clean pocket. Check down. Castle very effective as a pass catcher as well, and he's got a first down wrapped up by Sean Brown.
Yeah, Castle's the third down back or the passing down back. That time was a check down, and Mensah wanted to go deep. He had a wide receiver coming across late. I think it was Hagens over the middle of the field, but he took the check down. That's a positive play, and it got him a first down.
Guy who always falls forward. Mensah, deep shot downfield for Cooper Barkate, and it's incomplete. Off Barkade's hands with Devon Marshall, the senior corner from Boston, in coverage.
Oh, what a throw from Mensah. He put it out there. He actually had Andrew Anthony up there, too. You've got both guys that kind of streaking late down the field. So you got 2 options here. And Mensah went with Barkade, but he also had Anthony, who was wide open at the top of the screen as well.
Barkade's been their leading receiver, senior Harvard transfer, who Johnny Brewer, the offensive coordinator, told us is the go-to guy. Really good with contested catches, but he couldn't haul that in. Before that, Mensah had completed 9 straight. Nate Shepard bounces it, and he gets wrapped up by Trey Thomas. Now on the NC State defense, they do get back Sebastian Harsh in this half. So a couple drives with maybe their best defensive player in, 6th-year senior defensive end, but Kean Sloan, the other defensive end from Utah State, out due to an injury suffered early in the first half.
Yeah, big number 54, he's right there. He'll be lined up. One of their best edge rushers, one of the strongest guys on that team as well.
3rd down and 8. Shepard picks up the blitz. Mensah fires, and a juggling catch by Chase Tyler. Now where do they spot it? The initial mark is short, it appears, and would bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it was short because originally when he first attempted the catch, he had the first down, but he didn't maintain the possession of that football until he was about 2 or 3 yards short. Just watch at the bottom of the screen. See, he's past the first down marker when the ball originally gets to him, but he didn't get possession of the football until before the first down marker.
Right decision here to go for it on 4th down?
100%.
It's been a shaky kicking game, and this is outside of Todd Polino's range. Nets of the fake. Deep shot. Barkey got him this time! Touchdown, Duke!
It's all about show and run. So Barkey comes in here, but watch how he releases. He kind of jogs a little bit and acts like he's going to block, and then boom, he takes off. This was a great job by an experienced wide receiver, a grad transfer from Harvard, showing like he's going to block, and then boom, puts that foot in the ground and takes off. And what a throw from Mensah for the touchdown.
Manny Diaz told us they loved the contested catchability from Cooper Barkey. They didn't know that he had the speed, and with the hesitation on the play fake to set it up, and then he hits the Jets and hauls it in this time.
It's all about showing what you can do. But the grad transfer from Harvard showing everybody I can make plays, and what a shot from Mensah.
Life is good for Dukes. Darian Mensah's mom, Naomi, there. I got to talk to her, and she told me she knew he was special at 5 years old. Guys, he would pull up football drill instructional videos on YouTube, watch him, and then make her come out and do the drills with him.
And he has been awesome here, directing 4 straight touchdown drives for Duke. We've got a couple of flags down on the return from Duke Scott for NC State. It's been so life-changing for Darian Mensah, his mother Naomi, their entire family, this ride here to Duke. And after a loss when he went back to Tulane last week, boy, he has responded from that in a major way today here back at home in Durham.
Personal foul, kicking team, number 18. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the return, 1st down.
Let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, Mike, AT&T is keeping fans connected with our multi-view over on ABC. John Mateer's got a touchdown pass. Oklahoma the 13-10 lead on Auburn. Trinidad Chambliss did start for Ole Miss. He's got over 100 yards on the ground, approaching 300 through the air. And Florida State 7 rushing touchdowns, Mike, on the ACC.
All right, Kev, a lot going on there. And who's been better than John Mateer at quarterback? Speaking of transfers at QB in the country. Hollywood Smothers without much room, just a yard and a half off the right side.
Yeah, I want to go back to that kickoff because Kobe Smith, number 18, he's the one that got called for a penalty. Well, his helmet came off during that play. You have to stop playing at that point. You have to almost exit the field. So watch 18 later on. See that? He's still involved in the play. He's still playing. You cannot do that in college football. That's where the penalty came in, and 15 extra yards given to NC State.
So they've got it from the 37 down by 9. Game they controlled for much of the first half. Bailey with a quick hitter to the outside and a drop from Teddy Hoffman, the true freshman. Deshaun Stone was there, and there is a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 14. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's on Bryce Davis, true freshman defensive end, who's one of the biggest recruits in the history of Duke football. Was number 120 in the ESPN 300.
Man, this is late, real late at the end. And I don't know, just against the hand to the helmet, that head and neck area.
It wasn't a ton, but it's certainly not necessary.
It wasn't necessary. The ball's already thrown away, and that's the young freshman making a mistake.
Midway through this 3rd quarter at Wallace Wade Stadium. Smothers with that great vision again in the elusiveness. Smothers bumped out of bounds inside the 10. Run out by Jaden Francois. This kid just sees lanes, and then they appear.
Yeah, but you also get good blocking. Watch this little cut block from T. Anderson, the right tackle. Watch how see how he gets the defender on the ground, and it's easy for Smothers to get right behind there and then take off. We talked about the explosion. He gets down the field, but it's the blocking up front by T. Anderson, the redshirt junior out of Utah.
Transferred in from Utah State, and he set that up for Hollywood Smothers. Duke Scott gives Smothers a blow. Bailey design a run. Got away momentarily from Wesley Williams, but then Caleb Weaver drops him down. A couple players get into it at the goal line as well and have to be separated, but no flags thrown.
You don't see that too often, right? Usually they bring in Will Wilson, who's the backup quarterback, or I guess their goal line inside the 10 type quarterback for those quarterback runs. That time they allowed Bailey with the quarterback run, and Duke was all over it.
There's Wilson, the 230-pounder who had a touchdown run in the first half. They use him in the short yardage. But CJ Bailey's been excellent to start this season. Screen, Hoffman wrapped up. What a play by Deshaun Stone, the redshirt sophomore safety, leading tackler for Duke, was all over.
I love when I see guys see the play and go make the play. Right? Don't allow the blocker to block you. Why don't you just go make the play? Watch Stone on the right side of the screen. The ball is thrown and he triggers. Right? He didn't want to be blocked. You don't have to get off me. Let me go make the play. That's a nice job on the outside by Stone.
Third down to goal. Where are you going if you're NC State?
Well, today it's been Terrell Anderson, right? So to me, number 9, he's right here. This is who you're looking for.
Bailey on a slant. It's incomplete. Was looking to Noah Rogers, but Landon Callahan had the coverage, and now it's 4th down, and out comes the field goal unit.
Well, I thought he had Anderson laying that down, Mike. He was streaking toward the back of the end zone, except he went to the right. Bailey did. Maybe he got away with a little bit of a grab in there on the inside. But that's just terrific defense, and good job by Duke. They had it covered. Not only did they have the receiver covered, but I thought they had another defender in that window to make it an even tighter throw.
So here comes Kanoa Vinesets, who was the field goal kicker last year, but got beat out in camp by Nick Konachinski, who missed a couple of times in week 1, so it's been back to Vineset, and it's blocked. Wesley Williams came right up the middle and blocks the kick. Special teams have been enormous in this football game.
I want you to watch right here. Kamen Smith, he's got to block down. You got to block, take care of your gap. He doesn't take care of the gap, and watch Wesley Williams just shoot right through. You got to take care of your gap first. You don't take care of the gap. Wesley Williams shoots right through, and that's an easy block of the field goal.
What are offensive linemen taught on a field goal operation like there? Is it always crashing to the middle? Like
you always take care of your gap. You've got the inside gap. Remember, the snapper is protected, so you got to make sure you're blocking down. Every guy, guard, tackle, you take care of your inside first, and if everybody's taking care of the inside, it makes the longest way or the longest path for the outside guy to block.
How about the 5th career block kick for Wesley Williams? Nets it to the outside for Barcates. And all kinds of special teams plays in this game making an impact.
Yeah,
it's a flag down, and we'll check the marker at the 12-yard line.
I think they get Hasley, the tight end, just holding on at the point of attack there.
Holding. Offense, number 85. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
Yeah, I knew it was Hasley. He was right there, Mike. And it was one of those situations where you never know where the quarterback is. So Hasley's just kind of in no man's land. Just watch the tight end right here. He's going to block, block, block. And he never knows, is Mensah going to go out to the outside or cut it inside? It's always difficult when you're out there and you don't know what's happening behind you. See, he doesn't know. He's trying to help out his quarterback. Hasley does, and that time, it's call for holding.
Remember, that was on Sebastian Harsh, the great defensive end who was out due to targeting in the first half for NC State from last week. Shepard with nothing doing up the middle. Ran into Kenny Soares, the Northwestern transfer. Just a couple of yards, and now 2nd and long.
And how many special teams plays have we had today, Mike? It's been, I know we've had some great quarterback play from obviously Darian Mensah and also CJ, but we've had some special team blunders, mistakes. I mean, it's been all over the place.
The offsides on NC State,
Right.
the fake punt by NC State. Duke's Wesley Williams with the blocked kick. And Teddy Hoffman had trouble on a punt return that led to the 99-yard drive. Hazley wrapped up here by Sean Brown, well defended, just 2 yards, and 3rd down and long coming up.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Remember earlier in the game, what did you see? They ran a screen play. Okay, so do you have a screen draw type play here on 3rd and long? But NC State's defense playing well. 3-3-5 a year ago. Now this 4 down front, 4-2-5 for DJ Elliott.
What does Johnny Brewer dial up here on 3rd down and 14? How aggressive does he want to get with a 9-point lead in his own territory? They trust Darian Mensah. Pocket collapsing. Mensah rolls. And nowhere to go, so Mensah just gets rid of it. Great coverage from NC State, who forces a punt.
And great hustle by Sebastian Harsh, right? Remember, he's had to sit out the first half due to a targeting penalty a week ago, and number 54 closed in late on Darian Mensah at the end.
Much needed stop by NC State. A heck of an answer. They get helped out by the Hazley penalty after the missed field goal. Teddy Hoffman is back deep to get it. True freshman from the sophomore from Australia, Cade Reynoldson. And pre-snap movement. And do they get NC State first there on the defensive line?
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Looked like it might have been Assad Brown. Not mentioned there, but 26. And so that is 5 yards.
Yeah, Brown's right here in the middle. And see, a little bit different than the play we saw earlier. There was no snap, but the reaction by the offensive line because of Brown being in the neutral zone.
This one goes through the wickets of Reynoldson. He scoops it up, and Reynoldson gets it away. Hoffman fields it, and this has gone off the rails. Our pets' heads are falling off. Curtis Cooper is the long snapper, the 5th-year senior.
This is just a bad snap, and Mike, I want to take you to pregame. We were down there on the field, and we actually saw this happen in pregame. And what did I say to him? I said, don't let that happen in the game. He said, no, it won't. It won't. Well, I guess it did happen again. This time, Reynoldson couldn't field the play. It's great that he got got the punt off, Mike. But, man, that could have been disastrous for Duke.
With all due respect to Duke, it would be hard to have worse special teams through the first 3 games than what they had to start this season. They got the punt away, but good field position, and a screen goes nowhere to Teddy Hoffman at the line of scrimmage.
I can't believe we actually saw that happen in pregame. We're walking on the field, and Reynoldson had bobbled a snap that hit the ground, and we're like, don't let that happen in the game. It's like, I got you covered. I got you covered. Well, I guess he didn't take that into the game.
It's been crazy. What else are we going to have in the last 18 minutes of this game? So the good field position for NC State, still down by 9. Bailey lofts one, and not on the same page with his wide receiver. Terrell Anderson and CJ Bailey trying to link up, and now 3rd down.
Yeah, that's the same thing. He was like, hey, I'm expecting you to keep going. This is a critical 3rd down here, especially you kind of had a gift with the short punt. And I wouldn't be surprised, Mike, you look at the score, 26-35, Duke up. Wouldn't be surprised if this is 4th down territory for NC State.
And remember, 3rd down defense has been one of the big talking points all week for Duke and Jonathan Patke. Showed pressure, didn't bring it. Screen, Hollywood smothers. Tripped up inside the 40. So yeah, you're at right around the 37-yard line.
Yeah.
That's probably outside the range of Kanoa Vineset, your kicker. And the offense stays on the field.
Yeah, I figure you're kind of in that no man's land. You can't necessarily punt it here because it really doesn't give you an advantage. Your advantage is putting the ball in your quarterback's hands, C.J. Bailey. I'm not surprised by this decision here. I agree with it.
1 for 2 on 4th downs in this game. Bailey zips one incomplete. Intended for Justin Jolie, and it's a turnover on downs.
They went to their gotta-have-it guy, Jolie. He's right in the slot. And he looked like he slipped out of his break a little bit, just a little off between quarterback and tight end. They went to their gotta-have-it guy. Nice job by Musa Kane on the coverage. They went to their player, and they just misfired.
Well, the Taco Bell Live Más student section likes that. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this year? A little bit of contact from Musa Kane. Slip there as well from Justin Jolie, and the ball goes back to Darian Mensah and Duke. Play fake. Mensah steps up, and he fires for Barcade. In the plus territory, Cooper Barcade getting involved for the Blue Devils.
Man, Nate Shepard, the running back, the true freshman, is putting on a clinic about how to block in the backfield. He just continues to make the right block to allow Mensah the time to make these throws.
And you see the numbers for Darian Mensah. Floats one to Barcade, and was he inbounds? No. Out of bounds with Devon Marshall in coverage. It feels like Darian Mensah has been in a good rhythm.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of time with the football in the first half, but when he's had it, he's been rock solid.
Man, you just see just his accuracy, deep ball accuracy. He's putting the ball right where it needs to be, and he's giving his wide receivers opportunities to make the play. The 50-50 balls, Mike, they're doing a terrific job.
Nate Shepard, the true freshman running back, stays in there. On the draw, the explosive Shepard. Yeah, it's wrapped up by Kenny Soares, Sean Brown and company with a 5-yard pickup. And 3rd down coming up. So where do you go on 3rd down if you're Darian Mensah?
Well, to me, watch it all week. It's been number 7, Quayshawn Brown. They call him Queso. And to me, Queso has been the guy with the cheese, right? You give the guy Queso, Quayshawn Brown, number 7. He's just been the guy that you can find the easiest. He's number 7. He'll be lined up in the slot.
On the right side of the formation. They roll that way. Looking for Brown indeed. With the wiggle for a 1st down. Great call by you.
The guy just gets open. If you give Mensah enough time, he's going to find Brown. You don't necessarily have to scheme Brown open. He just has the ability to create separation, and that's an easy toss from the quarterback to Brown for a 1st down.
Darian Mensah told us this week, Quayshawn Brown will let me know if I'm not getting him the ball. These guys have become fast friends since Mensah transferred in. Darian Mensah told us Quayshawn Brown's going to have a big year for us here at Duke.
It's a big shot opportunity here from Mensah.
Run it instead with Nate Shepard with a cutback, and he gets tripped up right around the line of scrimmage. Picks up a few. Brody Barnhart in on the stop as we wind down here in the 3rd quarter. Darian Mensah has been up to the task, leading Duke on the comeback trail in this game against a Big 4 rival in NC State here on Tobacco Road. We go to the 4th in Durham, and Duke's got a 9-point lead on the Wolfpack. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Claude. NC State's 3-0. They've been comeback tested. They've been resilient. But C.J. Bailey and the Wolfpack are down by 9. A couple of interceptions in the first half. And then Darian Mensah has been sterling since halftime, Kirk.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Some great throws deep down the field and some great blocking up front.
Shepard gets blasted in the backfield by Kenny Soares for a loss of 2. And Kenny Soares, without Kean Sloan for most of this game, without Sebastian Harsh in the first half, has stepped up and made plays.
Yeah, that just brought him on the edge. He just comes right here, and no one picks him up. You got to make that play in the backfield. That time Soares just comes through unblocked, makes a play.
Senior Sam linebacker who transferred in from Northwestern with a lot of experience. And now a big third down. Pressure comes. Mensah floats one, incomplete. In the vicinity of both Quayshawn Brown and Andrell Anthony. And it brings up 4th down. And the field goal unit comes out for Duke.
Yeah, nice job by DJ Elliott, the defensive coordinator. He ended up bringing 7 guys. That was just not enough for Duke to hold up in protection. And Mensah had to get rid of that football.
Well, remember all the field goal struggles last week for Duke. In the first quarter, 2 pre-snap penalties backed them up. A miss from 44 from Todd Polino. A dropped snap in the second quarter by Cade Reynoldson. Then in the third quarter, they had a field goal get blocked. This time, though, Todd Polino and the operation is true from 43. And so the lead is 12 for the Blue Devils. And coming up this week, ACC Network has some featured women's soccer and volleyball matches. Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. In soccer, number 6 Notre Dame hosts number 18 North Carolina in South Bend, Indiana. And that's followed by volleyball. 5th-ranked Pitt takes on 10th-ranked SMU. Both games and matches also available on the ESPN app. All right, Kirk, let's zoom out. We got a long way to go, just underway in the 4th quarter. What is going to decide this game? Because we've had a little bit of everything. We've had special teams make an impact, and at times, really high-level quarterback play.
Yeah, to me, it's just limiting the mistakes right now. This is a big drive for NC State, and a lot of it is going to rest on the shoulders of C.J. Bailey, their quarterback. But I don't think Hollywood Smothers is going to have a factor into a lot of this. Can they get the running game going here? There's still plenty of time. You don't feel like you have to rush. You don't have to go into 2-minute mode. So if I'm NC State, I'm just kind of staying relaxed a little bit, just running my offense, and then hopefully defense can make a stop too.
Duke Scott takes it out of the end zone, and he gets swung down shy of the 20. Nice tackle made by George Wright on special teams. All right, so here you go. If you're C.J. Bailey, his last couple of drives has thrown it 6 times, but only for 3 yards. How can they get back in rhythm?
Well, number one, just take a deep breath. Here's C.J. Bailey. Just exhale, inhale, exhale, relax. We're fine, everybody, we're fine. This is what the young sophomore is kind of going through a little bit. Show that vocal leadership of we're fine. Let's just go run and execute. Make our next drive be our best drive.
Bailey to throw. Underneath, can't connect with Justin Jolie. Dave Doran said to us this week, our team has won 3 games, and all of them we were tested in. Said we've had comeback wins. Said we've had 4th quarter plays to finish games. You see, they're the only FBS team this season who twice has come back from double digits.
He said we've been able to come back for a reason, because we've been battle tested. So they've been in these deep waters in the 4th quarter.
Quick hitter to the outside, and a nice throw and catch that time to Terrell Anderson, who's got it very close to a 1st down. See where they spot the football, and looks like it is enough to move the chains.
Yeah, big play Anderson. He's been the go-to guy today. Well over 100 yards, over 129 before that last catch. So he's been the big play threat for this NC State offense today, opposite Smothers.
Yeah, see after that one, 5 for 140. First 3 games, he had 9 for 107. Smothers and Bailey with a bubble and a fumble. Wesley Williams pounces on it, and disaster strikes for the Wolfpack.
Now, Mike, Wesley Williams makes this play. Watch 97. He actually makes this play. I know it's a mistake on the quarterback, but because Wesley Williams goes with Smothers, who comes here, that made some indecision by the quarterback. Watch. I know it's a lot of drawing, but watch Williams. See how he feathers? He goes with Smothers, and that made Bailey think, oh, I've got a lane. Well, mixed handling of the football, and it's on the ground. And guess who? Wesley Williams jumped right on top of it. That's an outstanding job of doing his job, playing not only the quarterback, but taking away Smothers and forced some indecision by the quarterback, Bailey.
And now Mensah wants a shot play. Escapes from Cleveland, who does trip him up in the end for a loss of 1. I mean, how about the second half for Wesley Williams? Redshirt junior captain, guy who last year was honorable mention ACC. Jonathan Patke raved about the level that both his defensive ends are playing at. Williams has blocked a field goal and then forced and recovered a fumble.
Yeah, it's been fun watching these two guys. When I say these two guys, Vincent Anthony Jr., number 7, and Wesley Williams, number 97. Both these guys play the edge, the defensive end position for Duke. Been exciting watching them all week long. I was excited to see them come out here and play. They're doing a great job, especially Mr. Williams.
Castle. Nothing doing. Cleveland wraps him up. Flip side of that, though, I know Wesley Williams forced the hand of C.J. Bailey, right, but that's a turnover you really can't have, right? And Dave Doran said to us this week, this game's probably going to come down to turnover margin because NC State had protected the football and Duke hadn't coming in.
Yeah, they've made great adjustments at halftime in previous games. So today they get to the fourth quarter, and that's just an ill-advised turnover, something that you expect C.J. Bailey not to do. And that's really been the difference in this game is the turnovers by C.J. Bailey today.
Long way to go and a 3rd and long for Darian Mensah. Under pressure and wrapped up by Trey Thomas. Massive stand by NC State's defense. Duke well outside of field goal range and a loss of 8.
Watch this long loop. He's going to start here and loop all the way into here for the sack. Nice job by Trey Thomas. He felt it. And see how he wrapped all the way around, stayed tight, right off the center, right in for the sack.
Remember, he's playing more, the 5th-year senior transfer from Temple, because Kean Sloan is out after he got dinged up in the first half with an upper extremity injury. Good snap from Curtis Cooper, this time to Cade Reynoldson, and a fair catch signal and poor starting field position for NC State with the football down a dozen after this.
ESPN College Football is presented by Claude, the AI for problem solvers, and in part by the Lexus TX. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
We came in talking about a really tasty quarterback matchup. 2 talented sophomores. Darian Mensah has been really steady throughout. He's flashed big plays at times. C.J. Bailey has as well, but 3 turnovers. NC State begins at its own 5, and Hollywood Smothers gets the edge. Run out of bounds by Deshaun Stone as Smothers takes it past the 20.
Mike, C.J. Bailey actually came to life after that last turnover on this sideline. He's been pretty unemotional, pretty quiet up till now, but showed some frustration when he walked off, went to the phone, talked to coach upstairs, and then immediately went over to his offense, got them up, got them excited. Now, Hollywood Smothers raved about his quarterback's transformation this year, seeing that on the sideline.
He finds the crosser here to his tight end, Cody Hardy-Don, and a solid pickup from C.J. Bailey close to the sticks.
I think sometimes you forget that C.J. Bailey started 8 games a year ago. This is only his 4th game. So think about just 12 games in college football. He's still practically learning. Just finally a full season of college football. So with each play, with each game, you can see the leadership. You can see his growth. I know he's probably upset at the turnovers from today, but this is a point right now you shake it off and you have to be ready for your team in this critical moment here in the 4th quarter.
Duke Scott gets cracked down, and Scott's got enough for a 1st down. And C.J. Bailey played in high school. Some really talented wide receivers. Ohio State's Jeremiah Smith and Miami's JoJo Trader, who was also a top 25 recruit. Talked with Dave Doran this week. He told us he remembers going to their state championship game That offense put up 56 points, and the first 3 plays of the game were all Bailey to Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, Chaminade Madonna High School down there in South Florida. One of the better high schools in high school football.
They roll Bailey, and he takes the quick hitter, easy access to Keenan Jackson, and not much doing, just a yard. Dave Doran said we could see the poise, though, and the energy of C.J. Bailey. And all the coaches said to us, he's grown a ton as a leader from last year.
Yeah, remember, he was kind of thrown in because of the injuries and concussion situation with Grayson McCall. He just took the job.
Goes toward the sideline here, too tall for Terrell Anderson, and a lot of contact, and 2 flags come in on Landon Callahan. The redshirt freshman corner who's also working on his double knot ability.
Yeah, Callahan. Look, he pulled Anderson at the top of that route.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 21. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Watch the route, but watch at the end. So right now, just the route's there, but watch at the end. It's just a pull of the jersey. And right there on the back of the jersey, you can see that Anderson on the back of number 9 being pulled. It was stretched out because of the pull right there at the end from Callahan.
So it moves NC State to midfield. You still got plenty of time, 9+ minutes to go. NC State down by 12. In the belly of Duke Scott. Gets dragged down by Jaden Francois. How would you evaluate Duke's defense in this game? Jonathan Patke had one of the great defenses in the country last year. They were kind of frustrated by the level they'd been at in terms of pass defense and third down defense coming into today.
Yeah, they've been better today. They're just trying to make their plays when needed. As long as they don't give up the big play. They've had some big plays defensively that have helped themselves out. But when they limit the big play, I think this is where this defense really has come in. You've seen them earlier today. They got the interception earlier. Chandler Rivers knocks that one up, and then Deshaun Stone gets the interception. They've been putting the heat and the pressure on C.J. Bailey all game long. Freeman with the interception there, and then we just talked about that play with Wesley Williams making the quarterback Bailey with some indecision. Those are the 3 turnovers today that this Duke defense has been craving for.
Big third down here as NC State needs 4. Just 1 for their last 5 on third down. Bailey got it complete. Noah Rogers good enough for a first down working on Chandler Rivers.
That was a terrific pocket for Bailey to throw in. Well, watch him step up. See, he can feel the rush around him. He just steps up just a little bit and delivered a nice throw to Rogers, catch and run for a first down.
Smothers wrapped up by Trey Freeman. Second down coming up.
You almost feel like you want NC State to go in a hurry up. But I like the way that this drive is going, and it's going to put a lot on their defense on the next drive, right? But offensively, this is the one where you've got to cash in. You've got to score a touchdown on this drive to give your defense an opportunity to make a stop.
At what point do you need to quicken the tempo offensively?
I think on your next possible drive. Right now, this is just a regular drive of converting, moving the chains, but you got to get points.
Pressure on Bailey. Backpedaling, and he throws it away under heat, and is that intentional grounding?
Yes, it is. That ball doesn't go back to the line of scrimmage.
Wesley Williams and Kendall Johnson brought the pressure on C.J. Bailey.
Yeah, I think this is an easy call. That ball needs to get back all the way to the 38-yard line, and it was well short with pressure in his face and not a receiver in the area.
There are fouls by both teams. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 42. Intentional grounding, offense number 11. Those fouls offset, second down.
So Kendall Johnson, the redshirt sophomore will linebacker, with this on C.J. Bailey.
Man, this was all the way at the end. I mean, the play is pretty much all the way over. And, I mean, Mike, I don't see much. I don't see anything that rose to the level of a personal foul roughing the passer.
So they wipe out, and it's second down for Bailey. Spinning away from pressure. Eyes downfield, and he fits it into a tight window for a first down to Justin Jolie.
Maybe that's the jolt that this NC State offense needed. They're going tempo, but a nice job of improvising, extending the play with C.J. Bailey, keeping his eyes downfield and throwing across his body to Jolie.
Rolling left and throwing back to his trusty tight end.
I think the fans here thought there was a holding call on the left tackle.
6.5 to go. Bailey steps up and gets dropped by Aaron Hall.
A nice job by Hall, using the strength. I mean, these guys up front, Hall, Green, Anthony, Williams, all of them. He's just going to swim to the inside. And that's a nice job by Hall. Just all of these 4 guys on this rush. I mentioned it, Williams, Hall, Green, Anthony Jr. The way that they converge on the quarterback, keeping it tight.
Clock ticking on NC State. Bailey steps up. And incomplete toward the sideline in the direction of Teddy Hoffman. So now third down and 15 for the Wolfpack.
Little adjustment there by this defense for Duke. They're actually not really rushing. They're doing what I call a mush rush, where really they're just standing in front of the offensive line waiting for C.J. Bailey to commit, and then they come off the block and go make a play. This is 4-down territory. And this may be the game right here. This drive right here. They got to get a touchdown on this drive.
Pressure comes. Bailey toward the sideline, and that's hauled in by Terrell Anderson. Somehow made the catch inside the 5.
I almost thought it was intercepted. Caleb Weaver, number 3, he's running in. I thought he intercepted it, but it's actually Anderson with the play. And you've got an injured Blue Devil on the field that's going to stop play. And the NC State fans are a little upset. But wow, what a play by Anderson on his back, making the play. I thought it was intercepted. I thought it was 3 Weaver.
The previous play is under review.
So much to unpack here as Wesley Williams is the player down for Duke. First things first, was Terrell Anderson definitively in bounds?
At first, it looks like he was in bounds. Looks to me he's in bounds. I see that left rear end in bounds.
Lot to unpack on this last play. First things first, it went to review, and inbounds is the call. Upheld a completion to Terrell Anderson, and then watch Wesley Williams, 97.
Yeah, he's right here in this play. And all of a sudden you can tell he's just not well. And everybody's pointing at him because he just vomited on the field. Everyone thought he was faking an injury, but you can see he vomited on the field. A lot of the NC State fans thought that he was faking an injury, but sure he was not.
A la man-to-man Malawatch of Duke men's basketball this year. Massive for NC State to keep this drive going. Hollywood Smothers breaks a tackle, gets a push, and he is stood up at the 1.
Yeah, he's got such elite ability to stay on his feet, Mike. I mean, he's tackled in the backfield, and yet he's able to break out of the tackle of Josiah Green, one of the strongest players on this Duke defense. And Smothers at 195 still keeps those feet moving just short of the goal line.
Yeah, Josiah Green, the Dartmouth transfer, pound for pound, maybe the strongest player on their team.
I'm surprised Will Wilson doesn't come in a game right here inside the 5-yard line. Their backup quarterback that runs the football.
Smothers reaches out, and Smothers is marked down. So third down and goal coming up as he followed Griffin Reimer, getting some rare run as a lead blocker.
And look who enters the game. I mean, I thought he should have came in on second down, as here's Smothers here just short of the goal line. Is that left, was that right elbow? And now Will Wilson, number 10, comes into the game.
For his 6th snap of the season. This is how the first 5 have gone for the 230-pound true freshman. 15th play of this drive. Wilson up the middle, another touchdown. Short yardage specialist, and what a drive from the Wolfpack.
I was just waiting for it. I thought they would come in on second down with him. He comes in on third down, and he's just been automatic. You put him in those situations, and at 6'1", 230, Will Wilson is just automatic inside the 5. This time for a touchdown.
I guess Dave Doran wasn't kidding when he told us his team's resilient. A huge third down conversion, and then Will Wilson enters for his second touchdown. 5-point Duke lead with 4 to go. 86 meeting between Big Four foes. Dave Doran's team led by as many as 13. Duke ripped off 21 unanswered and has the lead by 5 in the football. Let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, Mike, Auburn took the lead on Oklahoma with 7 minutes to go, but Trevor Maddich, John Mateer had an answer.
He did, and he has run the ball at key moments very well. He's also thrown the ball not for a lot of yards, but in the key moments. Mateer's experience has carried the day.
Capped off a 6-play, 75-yard drive over on ABC. Next up here, Bear Bachmeier, the only true freshman with at least 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns this season. Mike, BYU, East Carolina in the on-deck circle.
Kevin, Trevor, thank you guys very much. Back here in Durham with 4 to go for Manny Diaz's team, up by 5. True freshman Nate Shepard running hard off the right side. All right, what kind of drive do you look for here from Duke, trying to salt this away?
It's 4-minute offense. You're trying to run the football as much as you can and not give this ball back to NC State. On the opposite side, if you're NC State, you're ravaging at the football. You're trying to create a turnover, but you have to play sound here. You don't want to get a turnover, things like that. You know that Duke wants to run the football. So stay in your gaps. Don't try to be Superman, but make the plays there that are needed to be made.
Defensive coordinator DJ Elliott in his first year on the job after Tony Gibson, the longtime Pac defensive coordinator, became the head coach at Marshall. Shepard straight ahead, and Shepard keeps churning the legs, and he gets it very close. About 3rd down and 1 coming up. Boy, and this Wolfpack fan base has gotten loud as well. You heard chants here at Duke of defense before the snap.
Well, now Anderson Castle enters the game, number 4. The grad transfer from App State. He's been the downhill player. Also, Tony Boggs comes in. He's an extra offensive lineman / tight end / fullback. But they got the heavy package here on 3rd and short.
You see Boggs and Castle. Boggs at 295 pounds. Castle at 215. Castle up the middle with a first down and more. Anderson Castle, the king of the castle. Anderson Castle will tell you he's a downhill guy who always finds 2 or 3 more yards. But he doesn't want you to think that he can't hit the big one as well.
Yeah, it's 31. Everybody here at Wallace Wade Stadium knew who was going to run the football, but I want you to watch Kenny Soares here. He's the linebacker. He gets lost inside. When you get lost inside, that's just an easy run for Castle. Anderson races, and look, everyone calls him Baby Allstott, and he has the wherewithal to look at the sideline, Mike, and say, do you want me to go down? They're like, no, you score, you score. And Castle plants the flag inside the end zone for a touchdown.
He had run it 8 times for 12 yards before that. And they say, you can score that touchdown, young man. The sixth-year senior from Boone, North Carolina, delights his offensive coordinator, Johnny Brewer.
I mean, he looked at the sideline, Mike, and said, do you want me to go down? And in mid-stride, they're like, no, you go score. What a job there by Castle.
And the deficit back to 12 for Dave Doran at NC State. Duke's got ready to get it from Todd Polino. Fair catch signal from Scott. Let's take a look at today's player spotlight, brought to you by Cintas. And Darian Mensah has dazzled today.
Oh, he's did a little bit of everything. It's the way his poise, the way he's thrown the football, the deep throws, the short intermediate throws. The big thing is, Mike, he hasn't turned the football over. That's what's huge. He's found every guy on the offense, running backs, tight ends, receivers. He's thrown with great precision. But again, I just love the way that he's protected the football.
Mom Naomi has loved it. Here in Durham, watching Darian Mensah, whose agent Noah Reisenfeld and Darian got together. They figured out where they were going to go. A 2-year deal to come here to Duke. And he's been awesome here today. Quick hitter Justin Jolie, who slips a tackle and takes it for a first down to the 39-yard line, approaching the 2-minute timeout. All 3 timeouts for NC State. Deshaun Stone is the Duke player still down, the redshirt sophomore safety, and the Blue Devils leading tackler. Hot day here at Duke, and Stone getting stretched out. Well, how about some of the comebacks from NC State this season with just 2 minutes left to play with? Remember, back-to-back comebacks from double digits down. Down 10 in the third quarter against Virginia. Kean Sloan, the game-sealing interception. Last Thursday at Duke, the Pack was down 14-zip right out of the gates, but C.J. Bailey was excellent. The defense, again, in the second half was awesome, gave nothing to Wake Forest, but Dave Doran looking at an uphill climb.
Yeah, it's an uphill climb, but C.J. Bailey's got the arm strength to make some plays deep down the field. Terrell Anderson has been his key guy as well. And you're just saying we want to get a score as quick as possible and then get an onside kick, hopefully, so there's still hope. And that's what you're preaching on that sideline. Hey, we still have time, fellas, and we still have all 3 timeouts as well. How quickly can they score and preserve those timeouts, especially getting a play here right before the 2-minute timeout? And they've got to be ready because they're going to wind this clock. So that's why you see the quarterback right ready to go, because they have to snap this ball right when the referee signals it ready for play to get this ball in. Play call before the timeout, 2-minute timeout.
They snap it and hand it straight ahead to Hollywood Smothers. Picks up a couple of yards, and now we hit the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
Well, they run it down 12, and we step aside. Yeah, no question, Kevin. That is a big one for Billy Napier's team. Back here in Durham, C.J. Bailey and NC State down by 12 with 2 minutes to go. Bailey slings one, and it's incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Justin Jolie, with Musa Kane again in coverage. Third down coming up. This NC State team battle-tested and 3-0 to start this season. Made the short drive over from Raleigh and led 20-7 in the first half. Bailey underneath. Smothers cannot escape Trey Freeman. Really good coverage and tackle from the veteran linebacker. And now it's 4th down.
Man, what a rush by Vincent Anthony Jr., the left defensive end. He came in, and then Freeman with an outstanding job of making a tackle in the open field.
NC State was moving at a rather slow pace, and now they will take the timeout with 1:27 to go and talk things over before a fourth down with the game hanging in the balance.
Please reset the game clock to 1:28. 1:28, please.
Duke's up 45-33. Glad to have you with us here in Durham. Kirk Morrison, Mike Monaco with you, Don Davenport down on the field. I mean, you think about Duke coming in. They were 1-2. They had frustrating losses against Illinois and last week against Tulane. Darian Mensah came here. It feels like this is the game where Duke is finally seeing what they thought they could be.
Well, the non-conference schedule was pretty much over. And you think about in their loss to Illinois and Tulane, they felt comfortable in starting conference play that this was going to be the real Duke team. And we saw it today. Darian Mensah has put on a show. There's a reason why he's here at quarterback. They've taken advantage of some mistakes from NC State, but more importantly, the calmness that he's portrayed. He's the leader of this football team. As long as Darian Mensah goes, I think the Duke Blue Devils will go in ACC play.
And now big fourth down for Manny Diaz's defense. Game comes down to this for C.J. Bailey and the Wolfpack. Four-man rush. Bailey, crosser, picked off by Musa Kane to stamp it for Duke. A handful of flags fly at midfield with the celebration underway from Duke.
What a job here. Watch Kane. He's going to be in the middle. They just double team Joe Lee, the tight end. And so when you've got two guys that are right there on Joe Lee, they're keeping their eyes on the tight end. It's just an easy errant throw from Bailey and Kane with the interception.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, intercepting team number 8, 15-yard penalty, first down.
They get Deshaun Stone, the safety and leading tackler. All right, so we talk about Darian Mensah on one side. The other part of it in this return to form for Duke is the defense.
Correct.
3 interceptions. They forced the fumble. Wesley Williams recovered it. They blocked a field goal. And this is the defense Jonathan Patke was expecting to see.
Yeah, they were upset at how they played against Illinois, against Tulane. And they said they can't wait to just get out here. I mean, the test that NC State was going to present with C.J. Bailey, I thought that they had a passing grade, right? We're at Duke. Yeah, they get the passing grade today, Mike. 4 turnovers. They created 4 turnovers today. That's the difference in the football game. It's the Duke defense creating the 4 turnovers, and the opposite side, Darian Mensah and this offense not turning the ball over.
Castle plunges straight ahead. Couple timeouts at the disposal of Dave Doran, and he will use his second.
NC State, their second. 30 seconds.
How good do you think Duke can be this year as you look ahead?
That's the conversation, right? This is conference play now. And with another loss today from Clemson, now, do you feel like the ACC is wide open? Now, this matchup against Syracuse next week that knocked off Clemson today, that's going to be a tough one traveling up to Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Manny Diaz's team this year on the upcoming schedule, I mean, they miss Miami, 4th in the country. They miss Florida State.
Correct. 7th
in the country. Won 9 games last year. Clemson, not exactly who we thought they were. Georgia Tech, better than expected. Syracuse, good win today.
Let's not overlook Cal in the rookie phenom, Saga Politelli. Can't wait to see him. He's throwing tonight against my alma mater, San Diego State.
Castle runs into J.J. Johnson, the safety back, healthy this week. 3rd down coming up in the final timeout used.
NC State, their 3rd and final. 30 seconds.
For NC State, meanwhile, they are home next Saturday night to host Virginia Tech, who got a win today after they had just moved on, of course, from head coach Brent Pry. 3 weeks from now, the schedule gets really tough. I mean, they go to Notre Dame, who right now is leading Purdue. You got Brent Key's Georgia Tech team. You still, after that, not pictured there, you're at number 4 Miami, number 7 Florida State as well.
Man, that's a tough schedule. And you've got to kind of lick your wounds a little bit, know that you didn't have your best day today, right? The turnovers is something that you had to deal with, and they'll clean that up. I think Smothers showed you he's still the real deal back. And maybe you found something in Terrell Anderson at wide receiver. So, look, you see the scoreboard and you're down 12 points, but there's still some things that you can build on from this game.
Castle trying to finish this thing off, and he's got a first down to do so. Duke will grab a win against NC State and get to 2-2 and start conference play with a victory. It's what Manny Diaz said to us when we talked with him yesterday. Feels like this team, even though 1-2 coming in better than last year's team at this point that won 9 games. And he does feel that this team's ceiling is higher in year 2 with him here at Duke.
Yeah, I think because of the defense. I mean, the defense is right where it's been. When you think of Manny Diaz, the first thing you think of is defense and the way that they played today. If you just get the output offensively like you did from Mensah and the crew, man, this could be one of those teams that's fighting for a conference championship berth at the end of the year.
Clock has been rolling. There's 35 seconds to go, and Duke does not need to snap it again. The Blue Devils grab a comeback win, down by as many as 13 here at home against NC State. And they take down the Wolfpack 45-33 here at Wallace Wade Stadium.
You kind of got a sense before the game that there was a calmness with Manny Diaz, right? Me and you, we both looked at each other. It was like, Manny looks very calm today. And I see why.
Consensus down on the field somewhat.
I think it was confidence. Just confidence in his group that they can play well today.
And they delivered a better effort helmed by Darian Mensah. The Blue Devils start out conference play with a win against NC State. So that wraps things up. Still to come after this game here. We've got BYU at East Carolina on the way. For Kirk Morrison, Don Davenport, and our entire crew behind the scenes led by Caitlin Urka and Ed Curran, Mike Monaco saying so long. First, let's get you back to the studio with Trevor Maddich. Here's Kevin Connors.
Welcome back into the ACC Huddle final score. NC State Duke going head-to-head, battle of the state of North Carolina. And how about Will Wilson rushing it in, but NC State up 20-7. They jumped out to a big lead, but then Bryce, Darian Mensah and them, they came right back.
A dot in that secondary. NC State secondary has been a little bit questionable.
Landon King with the 17-yard touchdown, so Duke trailing by 6, not for long.
Who is that guy?
Anderson Castle.
I like that guy. I like him.
You're going to like him a couple more times too, Coach. How about this? A 33-yard touchdown.
Ooh, look at that ball right down the sideline.
Makes it an 8-point lead for the Blue Devils. Then later in the quarter, Hollywood Smothers, another guy that Coach likes.
Oh. Hollywood, please don't pull a hamstring.
51 yards to the house. They're not able to get the 2-point conversion, so they're trailing by 2. And then Darian Mensah again.
Don't get caught peeking in the backfield.
Duke extends their lead. Wolfpack running the quarterback keeper here. Wilson punches it in.
Untouched, too, with that. Shoot.
Okay, so we got a 5-point game, but Coach, here's your guy.
Who's that guy?
King of the castle.
The king of the castle.
Looking back. He's looking back.
Don't pull a hamstring.
Anderson Castle just cruising, 3 touchdowns. First Duke player with 3 rushing touchdowns in a game.
That guy just got an NIL deal somewhere.
22, yeah?
Guaranteed.
Burger King?
Castle, what's
the burger place?
White Castle.
White Castle.
Oh, man, we nailed that one. We got there eventually. It was a group effort. It was a group effort for Duke because
10%.
It looked like they were a little slow to get things going. We had some questions. NC State jumped out to the lead, but how were they able to get themselves back in this game and pull out the win?
The big difference was the turnovers. They got 3 or 4 from the NC State side of the game. I mean, throughout this year, the big question with Duke is they've been shooting themselves in the foot for the most part. Now, they still had those mistakes, at least in terms of penalties, but they were able to capitalize on those turnovers and control the time of possession.
This is the first game this year where NC State has self-destructed, where they've had self-inflicted wounds, don't get out of their own way. They've been so good at protecting the football. They were running the football. They were playing good on defense. The front was controlling the line of scrimmage, and they had nothing but the reverse of that tonight.
Yeah. Well, going into the game, NC State, I think, had the least amount of turnovers in the league, and Duke had the most turnovers in the league. But all it takes is one game to flip it around. and all of a sudden, that's what happens. But even last week, we're looking at Duke saying, I was thinking what Manny might be saying to the team, like, hey, fellas, what do you think it might be like if we don't beat ourselves? Do you think we might actually could win a game here?
And there they go.
Sure enough, they don't turn it over.
There.
They win the game.
No turnovers for them tonight. Their third straight win against NC State as they also pick up their first conference win in this game.